me and Ryan have been officially welcomed to the jungle that is Barstool Sports.
Our white whale, Sidney Crosby.
Shave his head! Shave his head! Shave his head!
Ryan Whitney, Paul Bissonette, R.A., Mike Grinelli, Spittin Chiclets.
What is up, folks? How you doing? Happy summer. End of July coming up here, and welcome to episode 575 of the Spittin Chiclets podcast presented by Pink Whitney. Shout out Pink Whitney. Shout out the big bottle, the little bottle, the nips. I saw someone recently at a Little League baseball game have a nip of Pink Whitney. He looked over, he gave me a wink. I said, buddy, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone out there who's had Pink Whitney this summer, who will have it maybe this winter, who brings it out on the boat, shouldn't be driving the boat, but brings it out on the boat, brings it to the beach, brings it to the pool, doesn't matter. But this podcast really, really, really thanks Pink Whitney, because without them, are we even sitting here? But does Pink Whitney exist without me? I don't know. The crazy questions right now. As you can tell, I'm solo right now. Just kind of checking in. We got two great interviews. We're pretty much just dropping those interviews. We're still in the dog days of summer. Hockey is just a little on the afterburner right now. I don't think that makes sense. On the back burner, I think that's what I meant. Some news saw Jackson Blake signed a nice big 8-year extension with the Carolina Hurricanes. I mean, played his rookie season, and people kind of are like, what's going on here? I think he's going to be sick. I think in 2-3 years, you're going to look at that deal and be like, what a deal for Carolina to have him sign. And same time, he makes what? $40 million, over $40 million bucks. He'll get another deal when he's like 28, 29 years old. A win-win, I believe. Some people may think, oh, why do you give a guy that hasn't proven that much money? I think they know how good he's going to be. And so that's one deal. And Fish had mentioned to me before we started recording, he ran into him this weekend. He wants to come on Chiclets at some point. So Hurricanes fans. I actually played with his dad, Jason Blake. So a lot to talk with him. Hopefully we get to have him on, but congratulations. Big deal. Big contract. What else is going on? Not much, man. I'll tell you, like baseball, I've been bringing that up. Baseball is, it's humming right now. And the Red Sox, they just took 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. Just incredible showing at home. They lost both series. They lost to the Phillies. They got the third game in that series. And before that, who did they play? A nice team in the National League that I think they also won the third game to kind of get one of those 3. I mean, super fan wit. I can't even remember who the other series was, but things have been very relaxing, very nice this summer. I hope it's the same for everyone else. The kids, they're at camp this week. Ryder's at a hockey camp. Wyatt's at a junior camp. No skating for Wyatt. A little too young for that. So that's nice. I mean, drop them off at 8 in the morning, pick them up at 3. I feel like they're back in school. I think parents know what I'm talking about when summer's great and you get so much family time and you get to go to the beach, shout out Pink Whitney, and the pool and all those things. But when your kids are, I got 7, 4, and 1. You're kind of like waiting for school to start again. Like, I know that may sound bad, but the structure of the school day and okay, guys, it's like 8 o'clock time for bed, not like, hey, it's 10 o'clock and Ryder's asking to watch another episode of Full Swing. Summer could be a grind with children, but it's been awesome. But this week it's camp, so it's kind of like they're at school. Like, this is a nice little break. Today for me, it's Monday. Right now it's 9:04 a.m. Monday. I'm heading to Berlin, Connecticut for a 7:30 tip-off between the Kirk Minahan Show basketball team against the Barstool New York City office basketball team. It's basically like getting ready to go to war. And that, no disrespect to all the soldiers out there. Amazing people and what you've done for our country and Canada. Incredible. So I don't want to consider, but it is kind of war for basketball. Both teams have won one game. I am so confident in the Kirk Minahan Show. I'm an assistant coach. Do I know anything about basketball? No. But do I feel as though I could maybe fire these guys up with some positive vibes, positive energy? Everyone who knows me knows I'm a positive energy guy. I mean, it's just one of those things. You see Whit, he's positive, he's energized, and he's ready to just have a great day. So that's how, when people think of me, they think of just positive energy. That's really what it is, and I'm going to bring that to the game tonight. I cannot wait for that. What else is going on? Ryder, playoff baseball, town baseball, got waxed by Dorchester. They threw out a lefty, Actually, I knew his dad, Blandino, firing gas. Then they threw out a righty. I knew his dad, Griff, his kid's throwing gas as well. And then they brought in a third kid who was throwing gas. We didn't have anyone who threw gas. Ryder can throw strikes, not much gas in the tank there. He weighs 49 pounds. I don't really think there's a way to throw gas if you weigh 49 pounds. But a fun little baseball season, right? Like I got into baseball this year. I bring it up, and now you go watch the kids. You see a nice ground ball fielded, thrown over to first base. You're like, that is impressive for 7 and 8 year olds. That's what makes the game so special. If a kid rips a ball, I think ripping a ball is considered maybe hitting it over the infield's head. Besides, maybe there's probably kids in like other states that are 7 and 8 and are just nasty. But around here, it's nice. Milton has great baseball. So fun season there. What else? I mean, I got a very special member guest coming up, the Fallon Cup. That's what is that, 10 days from now? I can't wait. There's a lot of energy around Wollaston Golf Club. It's a great member guest. I've talked about this before. Now, if you're already like, what is this guy talking about? He's solo. It's not as easy as you think to sit here and talk to yourself. This member guest, though, is 18-hole qualifying. That's gross, so no strokes. So you and your partner, whether you're a scratch and a +2 playing together, which there's a lot of teams like that, or 2 13 handicaps playing together, it's ball in hole, best ball. And from there, they flight it. 16 teams in every flight, and then the strokes come into play. So you got to shoot like 2 under, 3 under to get into the championship flight, and then you're playing for the Fallon Cup. Any other flight, you're just paying or playing to win your flight. Guys are playing for money. It's a great event, and it's just a fun time. They got the Thursday night smoker for the guys. We get a lot of card games going. That's a lot of fun where, it's all the men. And then Friday, the wives come for an enormous party out by the pool. I mean, it's the best part of my summer. And I think most people that play in the tournament that are either members at Wollaston Golf Club or get to play in the tournament as a guest, they say it's the best part of their summer as well. So I'm very excited for that. I actually shot 76 yesterday, so I'm kind of like that. That's a good sign, right? That's like for nowadays, I'm very happy with that. I was 82 the day before. That was pretty disgusting. But the 76, I was 5 over through 4 holes. And then I played the last 14 holes of 1 under. So I'm kind of humming along right now as I get ready to drive to Connecticut because my last 14 holes of golf, I'm 1 under par. I won't, think about the 5 over par on the first 4 holes. So kind of really just rambling a little bit here. The interviews we have, Henrik Lundqvist. I mean, we could talk about how he looks. Very handsome. This video, he's probably like awkwardly handsome. It was a little bizarre sitting next to him. I'm like pale, out of shape, gross, and then he's just like tan and beautiful. Probably odd to say that about a man, but to each his own. And then Marco Sturm. Marco Sturm was willing to come on right after he got hired by the Bruins. This was Zoom, but we were all together in the finals at Keith's house. Shout out Keith's daughter. It was her Mila's birthday, I believe. Also, I think she's right now playing for Team Florida in a tournament, women's lacrosse, where every state sends their all-stars. So he sent the picture of the jersey. It's Florida Gators colors, orange with white and blue Florida. So pretty sick that she made that team. So good luck to Mila Yandel, and happy birthday to her. So Yans is traveling around. He's on the lacrosse circuit. Kind of crazy to see. Every parent with kids who are into sports, I mean, you're traveling around. You're just an Uber driver. You're a chauffeur. It's amazing. That's why I like how much Ryder loves golf, because we ride our bikes over and we just play golf. We got to play golf with my buddy Foles. If people remember Fairway Foles, he had an incredible Instagram following, and he just stopped doing it. Now, in fairness, he has 3 daughters. I think his oldest is 4 or 5. So kind of hard to be a content creator, Instagram golf person when you have 3 daughters, 5 and under, and you're a little busy with that. But me, I played in the tournament Saturday, and then Foles had played at 1 o'clock. He's coming off at 5, and I'm bringing Ryder out. Ryder wants to play. I said, Foles, you want to keep playing? Want to keep playing with me and Ryder? He goes, yup, we got 16 holes in, finishing in the dark. So that was a great day. I don't see Foles. Foles, one of my best friends. Do other adults, are they going through what I'm going through, where you just don't see your friends anymore? It's like, you used to see these guys, or girls, if any girls are listening, you used to see them 3-4 times a week, every Friday, Saturday night. You're having drinks, you're going out. Now all of a sudden you see your best friends like maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 months, and then you're just like, oh, it's so great to see you, and then boom, I'll see you in like 90 days. So I know I just said 1 month, 2 months, and then the 90 days is 3 months. But I think people know what I'm saying. As you get older and you have kids, you just don't see your friends. So you better be friends with your wife, and you better get along with your kids. And that's not always easy. Obviously, as I mentioned, the summertime, it's more bedtime where I'm like, you got to go to bed. Like, you need to go to bed. If you go to bed at 10, I don't even have 5 minutes because I'm then passing out. I need you to go to bed at 8 and just give me an hour and a half of just like, hey, honey, how was your day? How's your life going? I know. Thank you for picking them up. I played golf again today. I really appreciate it. I love you so much. Are we going to see our friends soon? Nope, we don't have any friends anymore. So, what else? We got the Internet Invitational coming up. That's really why I'm trying to find the golf game. I mean, I think it's 1.3 million on the line. Apparently, 4 people are going to split that. No one really knows how the tournament's going to work or the format, but very excited. In the Ozarks, Mississippi, Portnoy will be there. Will Portnoy be at the basketball game tonight? This guy is the coach of the New York team, this clown, and he's got a moldy Miami $20 million mansion that he has to tear down, sell, and then buy a new one. So must be nice being that rich, but apparently he's not even coming to the game. Barstool put in all these resources, did an hour-long documentary, incredible film. Go check it out. Obviously, by the time you're listening to this, you'll know the final score of the game, 7:30 Monday night. I'm talking like this wouldn't have already happened, so it doesn't make sense. But Portnoy, he says he's not even coming. I mean, what kind of coach is that? So I think on the leadership aspect, the Kirk Minahan show, far and above where New York City is going into this game. But the Internet Invitational, I'm very excited for. Kirk should be in that. Complete bullshit. I guess there's guys in the tournament who said they wouldn't play if he wasn't in it. That's just a joke. The guy's electric on a golf course, and I think most people know like it's going to be lacking maybe a little bit of enthusiasm, anger, and intimidation without Kirk Minahan there. But 6 powerful YouTube golf content creators said we won't play. We're going to take our driver and go home. The proverbial take my ball and go home, take my driver or my sandwich and go home if Kirk Minahan's playing. Whatever. Still should be a cool event. Big Cedar Lodge. I've been looking at pictures. Looks insane. I don't know how hot is it in the Ozarks in August? Are we looking at like 100% humidity with 115 degree temperature? I don't know. That's not great for a guy who doesn't wear a glove playing golf. What else? Oh, talk to Biz. Biz is just, I'm very happy. Biz is enjoying his downtime right now. He was at the Wayne Gretzky Hockey School. I believe that was in Jackson Hole. Saw him go on the ice for that. Keith let it be known that he wasn't on the ice for the Yandle hockey camp, but he was able to help out Gretzky. He was just getting, actually classic Keith. He texts me, hey, want me to get Biz going? I go, yep. And he immediately texts me, Biz, Keith, and Keith texts me and Biz and says, hey, Biz, saw you at the Wayne Gretzky Hockey School. Couldn't come to our hockey school, though. And Biz is, he's a class act. Right away, I'm sorry. I was just on the ice for 75 minutes. I was there and I was in town. Keith says that's 75 more minutes than you're on the ice at our camp. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I owe you guys one. And then I'm just crying, laughing because Biz is rattled. Keith knew exactly what he was doing. And then meanwhile, Keith, like 2 hours later, writes like, just kidding. Like just had Biz just on his toes, basically just like flipping out. And he was totally kidding. So I love that. I love when the friends that we don't really get to see anymore, you could still fuck with via text. It's always fun. What else? I mean, I don't really have much else. I've been doing a lot of grilling lately. Just getting that grill going. Steak tips. Steak tips, I guess, are only like a Massachusetts thing. I've never really seen them anywhere else. I love steak tips. They come in the package. You don't have to cut them up. They're easier to cook. Probably a pussy way to grill. I think real men are like, wait, you get a fucking big old steak, get a big old strip line, get a big old ribeye, chuck it on the grill. No, I have steak tips with all these different flavors that I like putting on the grill. So that's something I've been doing pretty well lately. Bree's got the garden going. She whips, she got raspberries. She whipped out the other day, strawberries. I didn't even know you could grow those in Milton, Massachusetts, but she is, along with many vegetables. So it's really a farm-to-table situation at the Whitney household currently. If I'm eating cucumber, it's actually growing in my backyard. Always nice. Wyatt's swimming. He's like, all of a sudden, he's just flying around. I think the bottom of our pool is like 12 feet. It's a pretty deep pool, not going to lie. I mean, that's the contract Sid got me. I got a deep pool. Wyatt's swimming down to the bottom. It's crazy now. Cal's in the water. So Cal is 14 months. He's not walking yet. Kind of odd. I'm like, let's go, buddy. Let's go. Let's go. But he's being carried everywhere. That's what happens. I'm like, we got to stop carrying this kid because we need this kid to walk. None of my kids walked. All of them walked at 15 months. I see 9-month-olds walking around. I'm like, was I walking at 15 months? I think with how athletic I was, not trying to pump my own tires, I might have been walking at 6 months. My mom would probably disagree with that, but in my mind, I came out of the womb walking. And let's not forget, I ran a 5-mile test, BU hockey, in 29 minutes and 30 seconds. That's sub 6-minute mile. So for everyone chirping my legs, these things could run. I ran like a deer. Now, all the ankle surgeries later, I can't even barely walk now, but I could run. Now, my kids, they don't walk till 15 months. So hopefully Cal starts walking soon. Bree sent me a video today, and it was a video of him like in the kitchen, and he's naked. Little awkward, but like this is husband and wife stuff with our baby, so don't worry about it. And I'm thinking the video is him. He's going to be walking. That's why she sends me the video. What does he do in the video? He just starts peeing on the floor. A little different than what I thought the video was going to be when I pressed play, but he's just hosing on the floor laughing. So still, I got a laugh out of that. But I was like, can we get this kid walking? U.S. Junior Am. I don't know for any of you golf fans. Incredible. These kids, I think you have to be 18 or under. They're fucking hitting the ball 330 yards. It's like, I don't understand how there's 15-year-olds playing that are shooting under par, just wild. Tiger Woods' son was in it. He didn't make match play. Still, what a swing on him. Just shows how hard golf is. You can have the most beautiful swing in the world and never even sniff the PGA Tour. Not saying Charlie Woods will ever not sniff the PGA Tour, but, you watch the kid swing on the USGA Instagram, and you're like, that kid didn't make match play. It's just wild. People are so good at golf. Such a hard sport. I shot 1 under in my last 14 holes yesterday, though. Not a big deal. So I think we'll throw it over to Hank right now. Henrik Lundqvist, one of the classiest guys in hockey. And we hadn't spoken to him. I thought we had him on like a year ago. We hadn't talked to him since the West Coast Wagon Tour. That goes back, I think, like 7 years, like maybe 6 years. San Jose All-Star Game. When was that? So a lot to catch up on. He'd been inducted to the Hockey Hall of Fame since then. Not a big deal. He goes into what he's doing for the New York Rangers. He actually works for MSG, I believe. It's not just the Rangers. So we'll throw it over to Hank right now, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to throw it over to Marco Sturm. And that's pretty much the show. Thank you, guys. I know it's, you're not getting all of us right now. We got some special news, I believe, on the upcoming season. Maybe a little changes to the show. Good changes, I think. And we'll end up really hearing from you on what you think of the changes, and moving forward, it'll be kind of like an audience tells us what they like, what they don't like, but we're always looking to get better and better. You never want to stay stagnant. You're always reaching for more. Every part of life. You can't be ever satisfied for where you're at. Even if you're crushing it in work, even if you're crushing it home with your family, there's always more you can do. That's how I looked at it growing up playing hockey. I was never satisfied. That's why I was running those 5-mile tests like a gazelle. So right now, Henrik Lundqvist and then Marco Sturm. Enjoy. Guys, it's Whit, and we have big news in the Spittin Chiclets world. We have launched our co-branded hockey training aids with Skills, the leading sports skill training brand. Now you can go to Dick's Sporting Goods and see Spittin Chiclets on the shelves. We just released training aids for players of all ages, whether you're 6 years old or 26 years old and you love playing men's league. We have the universal shooting target, the hockey shooting trainer, and the foam shooting targets. Those are very fun for kids. Perfect for the driveway or on the ice. These products will help your offensive game in a big way. The universal shooting target builds a visual focus to improve shooting accuracy. The hockey shooting trainer features 5 target areas and helps build the vision and muscle memory needed to increase scoring percentages. And the foam shooting targets have a quick hook and loop attachments for multiple shot locations, and it pops out, pops right back in, and it's a blast for kids to pick that target like Ray Bourque used to in the accuracy shooting. It's a great thing. All the training aids are sweet, and you can go right now, get the brand new Skills times Spittin Chiclets hockey training aids available online and in-store at Dick's Sporting Goods. What an honor it is. We are joined by now a 2-time guest of the Spittin Chiclets podcast, but it's been, I think, 7 years.
Wow.
And in that time, we got Hockey Hall of Fame. We got broadcast career with Biz on TNT. We got all these different things. The King, Henrik Lundqvist. What's going on, buddy?
Not much.
Clicks.
Great.
Clicks.
I think
Not
you
too
missed,
many.
I
Not
think
too
you
many.
missed 2 Hall of Fames since then.
Hockey Hall of Fame.
You got
was
the double
that's the big one.
IHF, right?
Oh, sorry, I forgot a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, squeezed that one.
How do you
too.
forget a Hall of Fame?
And was it the Europe Hall of Fame as well?
The Europe Hall of
Well,
Fame.
the Swedish, and then we
The
had
Swedish.
the International Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And then the big one in Toronto. Yeah, I told everyone that I think that was the last thing now we celebrated. We got the jersey, we got a few Hall of Fames. Time to move on.
Yeah. Now you.
Time, like, partying with, we look forward.
Well, that's
now.
awkward because we're going to induct you into the Spittin Chiclets Hall of Fame. Bring out the banner.
Cancel the cake.
2 episodes.
First member, just 2 episodes. You're in.
I'm also selling that part of the coach too.
Yeah.
After he
It's already up. It's already
This
up.
cushion right here.
That is so good. Well, last time we had you on, Jans wasn't here. We've added him since, right?
Yeah.
So what was it like playing with Jans?
You're unreal. I mean, listen, everybody you talk to, it's just great guy in the locker room. Maybe not the best shot blocker,
God no.
but
But he wouldn't screen you. Get out of the
he
way.
wouldn't screen me. But I was pretty intense. It was always great to have teammates that kind of made you smile every day.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah. I remember one of my first time, remember that like area that guys would eat in at MSG, like there was like a little lounge area, and Hank would come in 3-piece suit looking like a dime with his headphones on, and I'm like, hey, what's up, Hank? Give him a high five. Everyone's like, dude, you do not talk to him on game day. I'm like, yeah, we do. We talk.
No way he was that hardcore, eh?
Yeah.
Game
Well,
day,
I-
you went silent.
I had days. I don't think I spoke.
Mhm.
Like I was quiet. I game days.
Yeah.
I think I got better over the years, but I was so in my head just thinking about the game and kind of dealing with the
So
pressure.
if you're the guy that's not speaking, you were probably doing superstitions at home on the way to the rink and stuff too. Silent guys are usually, I'm guessing, people that are superstitious.
I just want to know how you like explain that to the wife. Like when you first started dating, you say, hey, game days, just like,
No, she knew.
Okay.
Even my kids knew.
okay.
They were quiet. Like, okay, dad has a game. They were like sneaking around.
Whispering around.
If they opened the door, it was like slowly peeked in. It's like, okay, he's taking a nap, getting ready.
That's awesome.
We're playing the Devils tonight. You're sleeping.
That is so good.
But I got better. I got more loose.
Did you?
I think finding that balance where, and we talk a lot about this now during the playoffs, how you escape from it and kind of recharge. If you're too intense all the time, you get tired, right? So to find that balance of being intense, but away from the rink, not a game day, you try to have fun and do things that just recharge you.
And obviously probably more pressure as a goalie in New York too, right? As opposed to other cities like where you're the guy, and obviously you were the guy because you were amazing, but it's like if you're a goalie in New York, it's got to be a different level of pressure.
Yeah, but I think everybody's different. I put a lot of pressure on myself and maybe sometimes a little too much. And that made me maybe a little intense at times.
Mm-hmm.
But probably the same for you guys. When I think around between 16 and 20 years old, you start to figure out, okay, this is my way of preparing. This is helping me. This is not helping me. And then I kind of stayed consistent for 20 years in terms of what I did game days and how I prepared. It never really changed.
So that the NHL, I think guys more get to the NHL and see how veterans do it, and they change and maybe adapt when they get to the highest level. But you were kind of dialed in from your time in Sweden.
Yeah, well, I played pro. I say pro for 4 or 5 years in Sweden before I moved to New York, and so same type of days. You know, you had your morning skates and getting ready for games and dealing with pressure. Playing for the national team back home for a few years also helped dealing with that type of pressure. But again, everybody's different, and I played with goalies too, that are way different.
Yeah.
A lot looser, smiling. That's their way of preparing and getting ready, not to, put too much pressure on yourself. But I was not. I was the quiet.
So you had such a good start there, so you'd earn the fans' trust right away. Was there ever a point where it got a little rocky?
Yeah, you go
Like, 'cause
toe-to-toe with Brooksy at all?
I think I've asked you that, and you said you had a really good relationship with all the media. So was there ever a time throughout your whole career there where maybe, I don't want to say they turned on you, but all of a sudden maybe you weren't playing good for a stretch where they're trying to be like, oh, has the king lost his juice? And did that ever happen?
Listen, I rarely read anything or watched interviews, so I didn't know if they were crushing me in the paper or on TV. So I approached them the same way, whether I play great or not. If I read into it too much, I'd probably be like, that guy, he's crushing me right now, so I don't want to talk to him. But I didn't know.
You weren't reading a thing.
No, I mean, rarely.
Yeah.
And it helped me just to stay. I approached them the same way.
Way smarter to do that.
That is
I did the
unbelievable.
same thing. Yeah, you can't get, especially in New York.
Well,
I can't.
reading's
Or-
hard.
and
though.
it's hard if they've been ripping you for a couple weeks and you still want to be nice to the guy, right? But if you don't know, you just approach him the same way. But in terms of, I remember signing my last deal, the big one. It was like a 7-year deal. It kind of dragged on a little bit. I struggled a little bit. I'm for sure people, they were wondering what's going on here. And then we got it in place, and that was the year we went to the Cup.
You're saying that they were kind of questioning why wasn't the deal already done at the time?
No, more like, okay, he needs to step up.
Yeah, he
I
got
need
his
to play.
deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
After.
once they got the deal, I could just put that aside.
They weren't willing to give you the deal yet.
Yeah.
No,
your
it was
mind.
my last year.
Okay.
My 6-year deal, we were looking at a long-term deal. And, I'm impressed with guys that can put things aside and just worry about the game. But at that point, I had been in New York for 9 years, I think. And it would have been such a big change for me not to stay. So I just wanted to know, like, this is the place. I want to stay here my entire career.
Yep.
Let's make it happen. We did. It was just, it takes time sometimes.
Was that something that like a veteran taught you early on about not kind of buying in and reading that stuff? Or were you just never really like that? Like even back in Sweden, like could you just avoid reading the press clippings there as well?
I don't know. Nobody really told me.
Just kind of naturally
I
did
feel
it.
like we play every other day. So are you going to read everything they write? That's all you do then. I want to do other things. And back to get away from the game. Like I was pretty, even for practice, but then games, there was so much attention and energy to going into that. If I would go home and then start reading and watching, it's like it would be nonstop.
Right.
So I loved just getting away from it, do other things. And
And I think
charged that way.
I think reading the positive ones isn't even good for like, you know what I mean? Then you can get a little bit too cocky, a little big.
God damn, I'm good.
Yeah, kind of. Like it's either way, it's probably not a healthy thing, but I don't think it's that common anymore. I think guys, even more so now, like the current game are seeing everything. Like there wasn't Twitter.
Yeah.
It's different now, I think. I think a lot of guys are seeing everything written.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so in your face.
Exactly.
way where-
you can't really, it's hard not to.
Yeah. And listen, they need thick skin. Maybe they're built different because this generation grew up with it. But it was a shock. I don't know how it was for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I remember like the
Instant.
first time Twitter came around, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. At first I didn't get it, but then I signed in and at first was just support. This is great. Never forget this. We landed in Philly for the outdoor game and I turned my phone on.
You get
And I had so many messages. You suck. You're awful.
Flyers fans just trying to bury you?
Giving it to me. It's like, I'm like, this Twitter thing, maybe it's not that good anymore.
delete. Yeah.
Now, is that how
getting
you
crushed.
like getting away from the game? Like you said, is that where you got into music and the guitar, or you had always been into that?
No, as a kid, I started playing a little bit. And then I stopped, but the guitar was always there. My brother played the bass. My sister played the drums.
Nice.
So we had a little, had a little band going at home.
Shit, eh?
Oh yeah. We loved it, but definitely one of those things throughout my career when you sit down and play a little bit, couple hours, it takes this stress away. It's like watching a great movie.
Yeah.
For those 2 hours, you don't think about anything.
Yeah.
I love on the road, go for a movie just to get your mind off.
Were
of
you
the
on
game.
the road eating dinner with the boys, or were you in the hotel room watching the movie?
Cheeseburger, weren't you a cheeseburger?
Yeah, I love my room service. I think
Cheeseburger before a game.
chocolate cake too. Maybe I mixed in a salad to start just so
You felt good about yourself.
Game
Yeah,
day
yeah.
afternough, cheeseburger.
No, night before, right?
Oh.
the night before.
Oh, gee, I was gonna say.
I've had a cheeseburger probably every hotel around the country. Yeah. I rated them too.
What's the top burger?
I remember the one that surprised me was in Columbus. It said on the menu, it's like the best burger in Ohio. I was like, yeah, right. And I had it, and it was actually delicious.
All right. New York. Yeah, New York's got the burgers. Remember we crushed those.
That one
What was
spot
that
we went
bar?
to.
What was that bar?
I'll
Gee, that-
never remember the name.
Cheval.
Oh, yeah.
Cheval.
That's got a
awesome
good one.
burger.
How did the band thing with McEnroe start? Like, how did that all come about? That's pretty fucking badass.
I was at a concert. We were watching Bruce Springsteen and we're hanging out, and John was there. Start talking, and then I don't know who said it, him or me. It's like, let's jam sometimes. And then one thing led to another, and then we start jamming. And then I had a charity concert come up, and I asked him if he wanted to join me for that show. So we've had a couple shows together.
So when you say jam, like let's jam together, like you bring over your guitar to his place and you sit there and
we
you
go to like a studio in the city where you plug in. You just bring your guitar. They have drums, amps, mics. You just plug in and you go.
Who would sing?
We had a girl at the time. She was awesome, Tara. But a couple of different people over the years. John sings a little bit, but he mostly plays guitar.
and then you just started
a jam
adding
sesh.
more
sesh.
like members, quote unquote. Like who was the most full-time drummer? Like who were,
Jay Weinberg.
oh, you had him?
Oh, he played in that show that we had. The first show me and Mac played. Jay Weinberg came in. And
Isn't he an all-time legend?
His dad is Max, played for Springsteen.
Okay, so I was thinking, all right, so I knew the last name.
Yeah, so Jay stepped in for Max a couple of times when he was away, played for Bruce. But he unreal drummer, and he's been playing with Slipknot.
He was with Slipknot. I think he's with someone else.
Yeah, no, he left now, but he was at the time. I think he played for them. And I remember because he hits it so hard when he jams, and we play a pretty small stage. So when we did the sound check, it was so loud. Like we kind of like, hey Jay, can we?
Yeah,
lower it a little bit?
we're chill jam session. Yeah. We're just looking to hang.
No, he was unreal. It was so fun,
Because is it hard to hear yourself playing? So it throws you off?
Because when there's no people and you do sound check, there's such a big echo.
Yeah.
And because the stage was small, we were right there by the drum kit. But no, he's unreal. We've been talking about doing maybe another show down the road.
Did you ever jam with Mr. Dolan, his band?
No, never jammed with him. I watched him jam though.
Yeah, we used to go.
Yeah, and he came to Sweden to play
Really?
one summer.
Wow.
He did?
Are you talking about the owner?
Yeah, Jimmy
good
Dolan.
band.
Okay.
What
wow.
is he? He plays guitar or
Plays guitar and sings.
The people in his band are incredible, right?
Really good musicians. So he played at the Globe Arena in Stockholm.
They're probably the highest paid musicians in the world.
I know.
He's just like, hey, come be my jam sesh member and I'll pay you $10 million. Have you been to the Sphere?
Oh yeah,
He was there for
Love
the
the
construction of it. This guy was going there even before it was
you
open.
were in the midst of
yeah. I got a little tour.
Wow.
because we did the Vegas final 2 years ago, so it was halfway done.
Who have you seen there?
So I went for the opening of the Sphere that
U2?
weekend. U2. I saw 2 shows. Incredible. I don't know. Have you guys been?
No, I have. We were just saying we got to get out there. And
I
do
just
it.
went and saw the Eagles.
Oh, you did
Oh,
go.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy, it was 10 out of 10.
How good is the sound?
It is incredible. When you told me about this thing, I'm like, what? Yeah, right. They're building this fucking dome in the middle of the desert
No.
for over $1 billion.
think
And then
it
you're
was
like, I
over
think
$2
it's now
billion.
at $2 billion
Crazy.
because they kept spending and spending.
But I saw some of the Eagles one that you went to. It's almost like a movie. Like there's just different video for every song. Like I saw the Hotel California one. It's like it's all related. Everything you're seeing.
yeah, and obviously they're unreal.
I don't think you have not experienced anything
Yeah.
like it because the screen is that big. And in terms of sound, I think they have over 300,000 speakers in there. So the sound is so crisp. And then it's not until you watch a movie you fully understand what they can do with that building.
Mhm.
The concert was amazing, but then you watch the movie where they have first postcard from Earth where, the seats are moving. You can smell. There was one scene in the movie where they were on a lemon field and you can smell the lemons.
Oh yeah, the scent comes.
Oh yeah, and then there was a storm,
Splashes
and the
with
wind
water, yeah.
started blowing in the hair.
Come on.
Like it's
You were there,
unreal.
Biz.
Yeah, but it
They
was.
didn't do any of that.
Well, no, they weren't doing. Yeah, smelling my farts. That's pretty much the only thing that people sitting next to me were smelling. But no, they didn't do the scent for
Yeah,
the
you
Eagles
didn't get
concert.
that stuff.
No, that's the movie.
Were you
part.
more nervous for Cup Final, Olympic gold medal game, or like first time you were performing, jamming out in front of people?
It's just different.
Yeah, you're not psychotic, not talking to anyone before the concert. But
I mean, playing music, it's a little bit out of my element.
okay, so yeah,
But music is more a feeling. There's no right or wrong, really. Sports is so black and white. You win or you lose.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay.
Music is more a feel, and you still need to focus, but you can still be relaxed in a way. It's a weird mix.
Were you as close of a friend of Dolan now as you were, or when you first started, when you were playing, like later on in your career, till you are now? Or when you retired, did you guys become a little bit closer? Because you have like one of the best jobs in the world, which is like, what is it? Like ambassador?
He's a true ambassador.
Ambassador
Because
for
he played
for the
MSG.
Rangers.
No shit, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's how it works?
Yeah.
They make fun of me because I'm a Leafs ambassador. I never played.
Ripped his jacket away from him.
It's funny how it works sometimes, isn't it?
Fuck.
No, but you know this. As a player, you don't really see management that often. It's definitely not the ownership group. But now, when I retired and start working as an ambassador, I go to a lot of different events at the Garden, Knicks games, Ranger games, concerts, different partnership events. So
Carte blanche.
So Tuukka's doing it for the Bruins. Said that every game, like he's going into suites. He's meeting ticket. Like, is that kind of similar to you? No.
I'll
buddy,
stay in
he's-
my suite.
They come to you.
Well, usually, there's
You have
definitely
guests.
some executives or guests that they're in that suite, but it's listen, I just love it. When I retired, I knew I wanted to be part of MSG.
Yeah.
I love hockey. I love the Rangers, but there's other things that interest me as well. So it was not so much the management side; it was more MSG as a whole because there's so much going on there. So I feel like this role
Not
was
just Rangers. Yeah.
No, it's that building is a machine.
Yeah.
There's something going on every day. Sometimes you have 2 shows a day. You can have the Knicks at 1 and the Rangers at 8, and just the turnaround is
Every night
crazy.
there's something, right?
Yeah, and it's just amazing to be part of it.
Top 3 coolest things you've seen at MSG. Is it easy to narrow it down like that?
It's my own
hard,
first
but
shout
a different
out.
reason. Like I Pearl Jam played at a 9/11 tribute concert, which was really cool. Talked to some people that had a very strong personal connection to that day, and to see what it meant to them. And yeah, Eddie put on an amazing show, so that was cool. The one that surprised me the most was probably Harry Styles. I didn't know what to expect. I brought the kids to that show, and it was so loud. It felt like we were watching Elvis back in the day. Everybody was just screaming.
Yeah, he is.
It's like a new generation of audience where
Girls love
they just
him.
scream.
They love him.
And he was such a great entertainer. So I would say he surprised me the most.
I want to do Billy Joel MSG. I heard that's pretty legendary.
It really is, but
He's done.
he's done.
So you're done.
Good call, Whit.
He did it for 10 years, right?
Yeah, I missed
Should
it.
see the Beatles there.
Well, I heard I think he was taking a helicopter like 12 minutes from his Hamptons place, hopping on plane for $1 million, and then hopping in his helicopter and being home in like 12 minutes.
That was
Something
Billy Joel?
Yeah, an hour, whatever it is. Something crazy.
Well, he did it every month, right? For 10 years.
Yeah.
It was a lot of shows. And yeah, that's like a New York staple right there.
He's got his jersey retired, just like Hank.
Yeah.
It's up there in the rafters.
Yeah, he's
It's
getting
incredible.
splinters in his toes
You can go
too
see
every
Jeter
next
play for the
game. What a
Yankees.
job.
Yeah, seriously. I want to ask you hockey. I don't think I've ever asked you this question. What was the Mickey Mouse gloves? For those of you who don't know, Hank wore these white gloves underneath his.
To keep it dry, probably, right?
It was grip. And actually, one of my childhood heroes, I saw him wear it. So I tried it as a kid, or maybe I was 15, 16. I just realized because you start sweating so much, the gloves get slippery. I want it to be super tight in there. So the gloves, which I switched every intermission to keep it dry, just gave me more grip in the glove. And then over time, I switched to black gloves with like rubber on it, so even more grip.
Wow.
Why wouldn't you do like the players, like mid-period, you switch out your gloves, like to TV timeout, go get a new.
Yeah, no, I
Weird in the
would
middle
not
of
be
the period.
comfortable with that.
I wonder if any
I was
goalies-
pretty.
Because you break it in the intermission a little bit wearing them. Like,
Yeah, for me, you need probably at least a week or sometimes 2 weeks to break in gear. I couldn't use like brand new gear or.
I didn't. You wouldn't get a rotation going. You like
Sometimes
players
I have
with gloves.
practice gloves,
Okay.
but for game, no, I don't know if any goalies switch gloves during a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
haven't seen it. I don't
No,
know if you
same.
guys
No.
seen it. But no, the Mickey Mouse, it was for grip.
When did you know, or like find out you'd be with TNT, or know you want to do that, right? Because that's a big step, weekly thing down in Atlanta. Like right away, did you figure out I can do this? Did they reach out to you first?
I don't actually remember how it came about, but when I retired, I had a great meeting with Mr. Dolan, and I kind of, what I do today is what I wanted to do when I retired. But that first year, we started just doing TV. So I did a few shows for MSG Network in New York.
Intermissions.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Same thing as I'm doing with TNT. But then throughout that year, I don't know. I can't tell you how it happened, but I came in, did a few shows that year, not many. And then the following year, signed a deal with them to come on. But I don't work as much as you, Biz. Like I do like 3 a month, but more in the playoffs.
Okay.
But hey, it's all about balance, right?
It's all about balance.
TV with TNT, does the MSG network with Valaquette, right?
Yeah, John Giannone. Great. They're great. It's very different how we do TV, though. TNT is more of a discussion.
Yeah.
We have more longer segments. MSG is more quick, in and out, a lot of information.
And then obviously family time. But going back to, you talked about when you talked to Dolan after your retirement, like we never really talked about your heart condition, right? Because we got you on before that. So like, how did you end up finding out about all that? What exactly was it? And obviously it led you to have to call it quits. And that's when you went to Washington, right?
And on Netflix now, is it Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix, Open Heart.
Unreal.
In North America and Scandinavia on Netflix, Open Heart. Kind of takes you through my journey a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's funny, when I start to think about maybe telling the story, it was more about not so much my career, it was more the power of being in a good place mentally. And I think we all go through stuff in life where everything just gets turned upside down. And how do you deal with that? How do you find happiness? And I did. So I was like, wow, this is so cool. I want to tell this story, but I also want to show when I come back to the NHL. That was my mindset.
Oh, when you first agreed to do it?
Yeah. Well,
kind of like Landeskog did.
Yeah, kind of the road back. Yeah. And then, if we go back a little bit, when my time in New York was over and I really thought I was going to hang it up. I couldn't see myself play anywhere else, like impossible. But then I remember a month or 2 months after, we were talking August maybe, I went to the rink just to skate, and it's like, I loved it.
Oh, I'm not done yet.
I'm not done. I was not done. I could feel in my body and in my head, I felt like I had at least 3 more years. Physically, I felt great. So then, a few weeks later, I just started talking to different teams, and in the end, Washington felt like the best match for me, for family, where I'm at, and my career. And then that fall, things started to happen. I knew I had a condition where my valve was leaky. I've known that for years. So I knew at some point we're probably going to have to do something, but it was steady for so many years. And then that fall, already first meeting with the doctors in Washington, it's like, what do you think about this? And then I think for the next couple months, I thought it would come down to me convincing my wife, like, no, I'm going to do this. Yes, the risk is a little higher right now because the leak is getting worse. The pressure in my heart was going up. My aorta was growing too much. So there's a few things going on. Wow. But then in the end, I'm like, no, I'm doing this. And I never forget it. I brought up like bags to pack and go to Washington. I was already there like a month prior to check everything out. And then this is the lockout year.
Yeah.
No, what was it?
Was
No,
COVID.
after COVID, right?
Yeah.
So we were supposed to start after New Year's.
Yep.
So we're mid-December. You just start to pack, and we had this call with the doctors, and it's like, no. All the tests, everything is actually worse than we thought. Like my pressure used to be 19, 20. It was at 60. At 70, your heart stops. And then my aorta was too big, so we need to replace that. And the valve was hanging on. So yeah. It was kind of an easy decision to like, okay, I got to do it.
I have to do it.
Yeah. It was not, if it was in the gray area,
Yeah.
I would have told my wife, I'm doing this. I'm going to play. But when you hear that, you knew there was no going back.
Yeah,
Was the condition related to hockey and maybe like pressure and stress and exercise, or was it just a natural thing that all of a sudden in that period of time just happened to spike again.
Yeah, no, I think that it was more. I had it for many years. I didn't know about the aorta, you know, and then the pressure in my heart. That happened over time and probably putting a lot of stress on it. But I'm, you know, the valve itself, I'm probably born with it. That it was just not closing well enough.
And I know obviously it sucks not being able to play, and obviously you wanted to play, but is there any part of you that's like, I'm glad I just played for the Rangers? Because when you think of Rangers, you think Henrik Lundqvist. Like, selfish for me, I was like, he should retire as a Ranger. That's where he belongs. Like, was there anything like that for you?
I definitely found peace in it.
Yeah.
To your point, like, no, it was never meant to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because a few months after surgery, I was really close coming back. I reached out to Washington. Okay, I'm ready. I'll come join you guys in April, like a couple weeks before playoffs. And then
Were you skating?
I was skating hard for a month and a half.
Yeah, remember the
Felt
videos
unreal.
coming out of him? They're like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, no, 7 weeks
Yeah.
after the surgery.
Yeah.
Like the first couple weeks after the open heart, I was hardly walking. Like it was every week just got better and better.
And you
it
started
was-
getting bored.
Yeah, bored. No, but in my head, I was coming back.
Oh, so you were just waiting till you
Yeah.
were told you could skate again.
6 weeks, you have to wait for your chest to heal. In terms of pressure, you can't, you know, exercise hard after 3 weeks. You got to do it week by week and kind of listen to your body, right? So then 7 weeks out, I felt step by step, I was in a good place to start skating. Not hard. I was just on the ice to feel and get the timing. And then no high shots, obviously, only ice shots for first couple of weeks, not to put pressure on the chest. But then,
Biz comes out, buries you in the corner.
yeah.
Wouldn't have felt it.
But a month and a half on the ice, and I was just a week away or something, week away to join the Caps, and I had the follow-up test for the surgery, and I had a lot of chest pain. So I told them about that concern and what's going on. And I thought it was related to the surgery, but unfortunately for me, I had pericarditis, which it's inflammation around the heart created somehow. We don't know exactly why.
Common after surgery like that.
Yes, it can happen after surgery, but we're talking 3 months out. So maybe I had a virus in my body or something that kind of attacked the heart. Most people have it one time and it's gone. For me, unfortunately, I had recurrent pericarditis, so it kept coming back. So instead of going to Washington, shut it down, and then 6 months later, I tried to go on the ice, and it came back.
Dude.
And then when it came back, I knew it's over. That's when I retired.
And your wife, I'm guessing, wanted you to retire. Like,
Yeah,
she's like, all right,
enough.
like we've had enough
What are we
kind of
doing?
scares here
yeah,
shut it
but
down.
it's hard,
I
you know,
know,
and
until
when
you're
you-
ready.
when you feel like you have more to give, and honestly, physically, mentally, I felt so good. But I knew I can't fight this thing. So it was time to hang it up. And yeah, as you said it, like me only play for the Rangers. It was meant to be.
Yeah.
Looking back at it, and also knowing now, 4 years later, that I've had issues with the inflammation, it keeps coming back. So I know that I made the right decision to hang it up when I did.
Did you figure that you would be inducted and let your jersey to the rafters?
It was actually pretty cool. Like
I would hope you knew that was coming.
well, I know. I just want to ask if you ever feel it inside. It's like unbelievable till it actually happens.
I'll tell you this, the way things ended, 15 years, my last game was in the bubble, no fans. I never really had a chance to
Say goodbye then.
to get closure. So the day I retired, I did it back home in Sweden that summer, in my old rink where Frölunda plays. That's where I played for many years, and a special place. But I announced my retirement, and I'm doing the media, and my phone rings, and I see it's Chris Drury. I'm like, I excuse myself, I got to take this. And it's like, congrats, he said, and then your jersey's going up this year.
Right away.
Right away, as I'm talking to media, I couldn't believe it. But to me, to come back then 6 months later or 7, to get that closure and to have that opportunity to thank so many people, it was an incredible
That
moment for
ovation.
so many reasons.
Yeah.
I will never forget it. But yeah, it was
One last
awesome.
time to hear them like chanting your name, like it's right. It's incredible.
I when I stepped on the ice that night, my leg I lost power. It was almost like I fell
Yeah, that's
when I
sick.
stepped on the ice because it was such a big part of my life for 15 years. And then it was just gone, with COVID, and then it was time to move on. So grateful for, how the organization handled it with all the friends, family we had there, and just share that moment. It was, top moment for sure.
And then the Hall of Fame too. I remember I was lucky enough to go up and play in that game with you, and I don't think you let in a goal. The saves. I'm like,
I know. I saw the
I'm like,
video.
this guy might get signed.
Yeah.
He's retired and
You
in the
ain't
Hall of
tested
Fame.
my heart before this one.
yeah, exactly.
I'll sign, but no hard test.
like,
Yeah, exactly.
For you, I was like, I'm like, this guy probably thinks he's gonna go play again. He probably could have.
I think you posted a few videos of you back on the ice. I'm like, holy fuck, this guy's on his edges, like perfect.
Yeah.
You're just sliding
Tying his
around out
skates.
there.
Oh, you know what? I never thought I would ever skate again. Why would I put the pads back on? But then when they reached out for the Hall of Fame game, I'm like, okay, I'll do one. And I loved it.
Yeah.
So fun. And so now I played 2-3 games a year, the charity games. We had a great one in Stockholm earlier this year. Incredible lineup with Forsberg, Lidstrom, Sundin, Zetterberg.
What was that for over there?
So it was for Borje Salming, the charity game. And we played mostly Finnish players, but Elias was there, a couple of Czech guys as well. We played at the Globe Arena.
That must have been
but-
packed.
Lower bowl.
Yeah.
But it was just, when you go back into the locker room now and you see all these players that you play with, it's like going back in time.
Mm-hmm.
Guys haven't changed.
Except
Some
you-
guys are
except you
still
weren't
ripped.
talking
Some
to
guys have
anyone.
let it loose
Oh
completely.
yeah, some
but-
guys really let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right here, guys.
Did you talk to anyone before that game?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
was nice
I
of
actually
you.
smiled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your favorite Hank moments like when playing with him? Like, what do you remember that?
Did he ever snap on you for screening them?
Oh, he used
Must.
to just say, if you're not going to fucking block it, get out of the way. So I'd be like, all right, I'll just get out of the way. No, the one thing I remember was my first game. It was like a 2-on-1, and he was like, just take away the pass. Like, I just love the confidence in a goalie where, like, just let me see the puck so I can save it. But probably my favorites were after a game, after a loss, and we had a wagon that year. We probably should have won the cup. We were just so banged up. But after a game, if we lost, you'd just hear he'd get undressed super quick, and then you'd just hear he'd be punching the soap dispenser in the shower.
wow.
I'm like, oh my god, this guy's gonna break his hand for the next game. Like screaming
Hey,
swears
I
in
could
Sweden.
never see
Like,
you getting that
dude,
angry.
flipping out
like-
like you have never. I forget what the swears were, but punching it, screaming. It was. I'm like,
Holy
oh.
shit.
And all the Stalzy and G, like they'd been around it for so long. They're like, it's just Hank. You'll get used to it. I'm like, dude, we can't let him break his hand. Like, what are we doing? They're like, no, he's fine.
How long until you were back to normal after that?
Next
Hey.
morning.
Next morning, you go sleep it off. Oh man.
No, but it all depended on the game, how we lost. I mean, if I was terrible, I was not happy. I was not pleasant to be around. That's for sure. But we started the conversation about the pressure I put on myself. I think that sometimes got the best of me after games. Looking back at it now, it's like, wow, I was really intense. But
Any
But
happier stories?
You were like that in practice too. The first guy I ever seen, like in Matt Zuccarello, they would always like bust Chaw. He was one of the best teammates ever, but there'd be a drill going on and Zook would be in the corner and he'd shoot pucks like to try to score, and Hank would be like facing a 2-on-1 and then like try to make another save. Like didn't want any pucks going in the net.
That's kind of like Marc-Andre Fleury was.
Yeah.
He was
Was
the
he?
same way. He would just compete till the end. Like
Yeah, the whistle would be
the
blown.
next guy would be coming down over the blue line and he'd still be battling out the last puck with the last guy. Yeah. That's unreal.
The breakaways at the end of warm-ups, the first time I saw that, I'm like, what is going on here? Like, at the end of warm-ups in the game, you just have a line of guys doing breakaways on them.
I actually remember playing against the Rangers and seeing that. It was almost like a European type thing,
yes,
maybe.
Oh, was it?
Most goalies do it in Europe.
Yeah.
They take breakaways end of warm-ups. I love that drill in practice too. The breakaway.
Yeah.
The 3-puck. That was my favorite drill. It's like quick feet, the competition 1-on-1,
Mm-hmm.
and certain players got under your skin for sure in
Mhm.
practice. Matt's
Who-
was one of them.
In your New York career, like, who owned you in practice? If there was anyone, like one guy, you're like,
Played with some
Kinda.
legends.
kind of had my number a lot, like, pissed you off. Is there really no one? There really
Yeah,
might be
no.
one.
I mean,
It's like no one scored on
Hey,
me. What are you talking about?
He said
no one. Yeah.
He said legends you played with. Like, who were the top
I
guys?
mean, listen, first year, Yogs. Kidding me?
And he was sick then.
He won the scoring title that year. He was unreal, and being 23, you come over rookie year and he was actually my first roomie. Crazy.
So your
stuff.
rookie year was first year after the lockout.
Yes. Yeah.
My rookie year.
Yeah. There you go.
He's like, this is my new wingman.
Yeah.
Yager
look
had
the
a
same.
roommate?
Yeah, he's like, this is my new wingman.
Yeah,
He's
he had a
rooming with me.
roommate. Yogs.
No, so this was during camp. We went up to West Point
Oh, yeah.
for team building. At this point, we're 30 players.
Yogs.
And we show up there and I'm looking for my name, like Lundqvist Yager. I'm like, are you kidding me? What?
Right into the fire.
Yeah. I texted my brothers, like, guess what? My roomie's Yogs. He's like, no way.
That's what.
Oh my God.
Was he a silly roommate? Like, with like,
I don't think I said a word.
no,
No.
yeah.
I knew my place.
Yeah, I would have been like, "What's up, Yogs? How you doing? How's your summer, bro?"
Yeah,
Pass the remote.
Yeah. Nah. Hey, yeah, lights out at 11. How's the day trading going? You mentioned Europe. How did you get your start back home? Like, what made you fall in love with being a goaltender? We might have covered it.
His family band didn't cut it. They didn't make it.
The Hanson brothers snipped them.
Yeah.
Like, what made you want to be a goaltender?
I remember watching the national team when I was probably 5-6 years old, and I just loved it. And then actually at kindergarten, we had 2 teachers. They played hockey, so they introduced a game to me and my twin brother Joel. So we were only 4 or 5 when we started skating, but it was not until we saw the national team play, probably World Championships or something. We're talking late 80s, so it's not like there was a lot of hockey on TV. Definitely not an NHL. But watching the national team was definitely like, wow, I want to do that one day. And then they build the rink like half hour outside our hometown, RA. It's a ski town, but they build the rink outside when we were probably 8-9 years old. That's when we started playing.
And you were there, like every other day?
No, because our parents had to drive us. So we were not there every day, but we probably skated every day on the lake or at school, or played a lot of street hockey. A ton of street hockey.
In Solming's it seems outside looking in, he's like the number one guy that everyone looks up to. But what about for goalies? Like, is there?
So my first year, he was Peter Lindmark. Never made it to the NHL, but at the time he was the best guy in Sweden, late 80s. After that, you watched a lot of the guys playing the Swedish Elite League. And then as I got older, started paying attention to the NHL, Patrick Roy, Dominik Hasek. Was 2 guys that really inspired me.
Did your brother ever come over?
So he played in Dallas for a couple years.
Yes. And then he was a legend in Frölunda.
Played 20 years. He was a captain for 14 years.
Number retired?
They have this rule where they have to wait 5 years.
Okay, but he'll have that coming.
I would be very surprised if it's not up there, because he has pretty much every record.
Wow.
For that franchise. I mean, he played for 20 years, but
that's sick.
He came over my second year here. He came to Dallas and we played against each other for the first time. That was extremely weird.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Yeah, it was so bizarre.
You're like, he is not scoring on me.
Exactly.
Did you ever have any say in your goalie tandem? Or was it always just you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be pretty close and good buddies with your goalie tandems throughout your career.
Yeah, no, I had nothing to say.
Nothing to say?
No. You showed
Who were
up
your
there.
favorite ones?
Honestly, I think back, there's so many good ones, different personalities. You love them for different reasons, but to your point, you become really close because you spend every day together. You're on the ice with the goalie coach before practice and you talk about the game. And, for most part of my career, it was pretty clear that, okay, I'm going to play a lot of the games. So it was never really a battle. It was more of a support team.
Right.
I felt like it. Maybe if you're in a situation where you don't really know who's going to play, it can be more competitive. But in my case, I felt so much support from the guys I play with because it was pretty clear. But favorites, I don't want to forget anyone, but it was a great start with Kevin Weeks.
Oh, yeah.
That was my rookie year playing with Kevin. And
Was he a veteran at the time?
He was a veteran, and he knew what was up. Like, he's so classy, respectful. I think that was a great start to, join him. And then, Steve Alley Cat, Marty Biron, and the list goes on. But a lot of fun guys that
Would Biron's French accent make you laugh?
he talked so much.
Oh, I know.
And he knew it.
He's talking shit from the bench all the time, right?
Was he really?
Oh yeah, he like shit talk. There's like clips of him like talking shit when he was on the Sabres and stuff, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Unless I'm imagining
No,
this
you're
right now.
100% right.
He was
Yeah.
awesome. He was so fun.
It's like when we interviewed him, I texted someone, they were like, yeah, good luck getting a word in. He's going to talk the entire time.
Which is perfect. That's why you want to interview guys. You just throw them softballs.
And what about these days when it's really becoming different, like the splits? In your mind, did you want to play 65? Like you know what I'm saying? Nowadays, it's changed.
Yeah, it started to change, I think, 10, 11 years into my career. The first, at least 8, 9 years, I was close to 70 games every year. And then we start to drop. And
you didn't
65.
like that?
No, I understood. Okay, we can't be around 70, but then we just going down to 65, then low 60s. That's when you start to, hey,
Hold on here.
hey, hold on, what are we doing?
Give me my net.
What are we doing? But again, there's so many teams now that have they have so many good goalies, so it works.
They're even.
They have a tandem, and it's also a very taxing game. I feel like it's more open now, maybe. So you have to be on it. If you're not on it, you're gonna get lit up.
Did you have any dust ups with Torts at all over the years?
Do you know this?
No. No.
Was Torch your coach when you were there?
No, I had AV.
Oh, okay.
Listen,
Why are you doing that with your hands?
AV used to do.
When he talked?
Yeah, and just don't know if you got it anymore.
And he used to go like this?
Yeah.
Why would he keep his hand
I
up?
don't know.
You never asked him?
No. It's not something
You
you
just
ask
talk
a
like-
coach. Yeah.
I love playing for Torts because I'm a guy that I love people with passion, and he brought it every day. Practice, games. It was tough, but it was good tough. Be challenged that way. And I mean, did we have dust up? Yeah, we probably had one or two. But that's the good thing about him. You know, you clear the air and then
It's
you
over.
move on. It's over.
That's good.
But that passion that he brought to every game, every practice, the speeches, I was fired up for every game.
He was the best speech coach you had? Where he'd come in and he'd just fucking bang, let's go fucking kill it, and then walk out. And everyone's like, yeah.
I resonated with him a lot in terms of that energy and fire. So that's why that part I really enjoyed. I've had a lot of great coaches and they're good in different ways, but that part of Torch was something that really resonated with me, the fire. And I love going out to game feeling like we're going to war. And if I had a coach that helped us as a group get there, even better.
And what would make you guys ever battle if he like maybe scratched you a few games in a row and you go clear his desk out?
Well,
Our
I
fans
had
love the juicy stories behind this.
So
Just tell us you took a shit on his desk.
No.
Nope.
But I was playing good, but then I had a few games where I was not very good. I was terrible. Okay. And then I get a text one morning. It's like, hey, Hank Torts wants you in his office tomorrow morning at 9. Okay.
He didn't even text you?
No, I think it was the PR or whatever. So I get there and we had this long conversation. It's like, I don't know what you're doing. I hear, where's your focus at? I saw you at the Garden watching a show the other night and you're not playing great and this and that. It was a list of things that he didn't like. And then he ends with, you know, people say you're the king. You're not the fucking king.
I'm so happy I asked that question.
Here we
Clip it.
Like what?
excuse me.
Wow.
Yeah. And then it was a little bit
Did
of
your wires
I didn't say
cross?
much, but it was a lot of yelling. Not from my side, mostly from Torch and people like,
As soon as he uttered out those words, though, you didn't react. You just were like, you just stayed there. Like, what
no, I didn't say much because I knew I didn't play great. I just said like, you can never question my commitment to the game. I knew that in my heart always.
Just
but-
because I'm out at an event, like, you know, when I'm at the rink and I'm going to be preparing, like, this is all that matters.
Mhm.
Like, if
Yeah.
he's questioning you being seen out and about at something, you're like, no, like,
Yeah, that's
that's that's not taking away from what.
No, but I think sometimes coaches, it's great to be challenged at times. I in the end afterwards, like, wow, I didn't see that one coming, but it was great to be like challenged.
Did you start playing
Yeah,
better?
what was the run you went on?
I don't remember. Well, things did turn around. Otherwise, I wouldn't be playing. But
Was he the
sometimes you get into a slump, and it's hard to sometimes figure out why. You're putting in the same work, but it's just you're off.
Was he the coach when you guys made your run to the finals against the LA?
No, we made it to conference finals.
Okay, and that was when you guys lost in Game 7.
We lost Game 6.
Oh,
I
Game
think,
6?
To Jersey, and then 2 years later,
That was the year LA beat us.
that was 14.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it
okay,
was
so-
LA
Oh.
Jersey in the finals.
Yeah.
Right.
Jersey beat you guys. LA beat us. And
So LA beat Jersey and New York.
Yeah, in the finals. Yeah.
No,
Those were both their cups.
Yes.
Yeah,
'cause
LA
Bernier,
beat-
remember Bernier hit Scuds from behind?
Yes.
That was their first
Wow.
one.
Yeah.
And they got the 8th seed, I believe,
Pasha.
and beat Vancouver.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you went to the Stanley Cup final one time?
Yeah, we were in the conference final in 12, 14, 15. And I have to say, in 15, I thought
That was our-
that was going to be our year. After losing in 14, 15, we had a great team. And it just,
Unreal.
watching this year, watching Edmonton, how they went through conference final, it's a different feeling.
Mhm.
But then we came up short, Game 7 against Tampa in
Yeah.
15.
That was a great series.
And we were so like Girardi had like a broken foot. Saul
Chicago
had-
won it.
Yeah. I had a
Oh, that was the year.
shoulder.
I think it was the top 4 or 5D had injuries.
Everyone, yeah.
Right.
Klein had just broken his arm. Remember Dan Boyle? Like, we were
Is that
so
the
bad.
year Zuki got hit in the
Yeah,
head too?
Zook like lost,
He couldn't speak.
couldn't speak.
What?
He got hit with he speaks like 4 languages. He couldn't speak anything. He got hit in the head with a slap shot and was in the hospital for like
Yeah,
a week.
he skated off the ice and he couldn't say one word.
Yeah. It was the
Because it
scariest thing ever.
hit a part of your brain that controls your speech.
I don't ever remember hearing
No.
that.
It was scary.
Was that in second round maybe?
Might have been first round versus Pittsburgh.
Okay. And then he came back, a week or so and he came for dinner
Yeah.
and he was struggling
Dude.
speaking. Everybody's like, oh my God.
Holy shit.
And he was
Yeah.
like one of our best forward. He was
Yeah,
awesome
he was
for us.
unreal.
Oh, he was like that. Those were his heydays. He's still good playing with Kaprizov. Maybe just a little not as fast.
Which one of those years was Gaborik or Gaborik? How do you say his name?
Yeah, Gaborik.
Lighting it up. Like, because one year he had like 45.
I think the first year with us, he had 40.
Yeah, was that?
That would have been like 2010.
That wasn't one of those years.
No, maybe
No.
like 12, 13.
Yeah, around there.
What's he do now? Is he in Europe?
He's back in Slovakia. Yeah. I saw him. When did I see him? Yeah, he came to New York a couple months ago. I saw him. He's doing great.
Really?
Yeah.
What a player he was.
Boys, this has been awesome. Hank, thank you so much for sitting down. Do you have any other hockey questions?
Might repeat that Torts thing. I didn't get it right. He said, people treat you like you're the king around here. Guess what? You're not the king. That's how he said it.
Okay.
Wow, that.
Well, we could just keep it in the free-flowing interview like this. Just
Yeah, exactly.
corrected yourself.
All right, Hank. We got the rollback last question. Use code Chiclets on rollback.com for a generous 20% off your first purchase to the end of the week. CHICLETS on RHOBACK.com. 20% off all polo shorts, swim trunks, and more with code Chiclets. Do you think Stuart Skinner isn't tying his skates tight enough?
We're gonna have to release this right during the Cup Finals now.
What do you mean? It's the last question. Well, you know what? Because if he says no and they go on to win, he'll have been correct. If he says yes and they go on to win, he'll be like, I don't think Hank knows how you're supposed to tie your skates as a goalie.
All I know is
This
this.
is really affecting him because I know you brought it up and it's possibly
Well,
something on.
Panger discovered it. We brought it
Okay.
up on the panel, and I just thought it was weird because, like, if it's that loose, you might be trying to push off, and you might skid out a little bit, and then you're not getting the full push, right?
Yeah, but everybody's different. Some goalies want a lot of mobility with their feet to be able to have that better balance. But for me, it was quite the opposite. Just to have that tight boots, or when you do
Stability.
push to the side, there's no give. If it's loose, you kind of have that split of a second where there's a little give, and then you get the push. But if it's stiff, it's like right away you get that push.
Okay.
But again, everybody's different. Everybody wears the equipment in a unique way, and they tie the skates in a unique way. So it's not going to come down to how hard he's
Since it
laced
came
them
out,
up.
Thank you.
since it came out, and you talked about it on the broadcast, how many goalies have texted you like, "Oh, that's weird that he did that"?
No text.
Not one.
No.
What?
You're the only one making it a big deal.
I think, business. But I texted you. You didn't play goalie. You didn't play goalie, biz. All right, Hank. Unreal. Honest,
Unreal.
Congrats on everything.
Yeah.
All your success.
Thank you.
Great on TNT. And, buddy, I think the Hall of Fames are done, though.
Yeah, we're done.
that's
Let's
it.
The
move
Hall of
on.
Fames are
Right?
done.
Yeah, we're
All right.
moving on.
Are
Great-
you allowed to
great
play,
having you on.
Are you allowed to play ball hockey in that? I got a tournament that coming up against this idiot.
All right, when?
It's in September in Boston. The big deal
Stranglers.
selects are taking on the Boston Stranglers for pink slips, and we can't really find a goalie. We've never won our own ball hockey tournament, Hank.
Okay.
Consider it.
Yeah, send me the details. Send me the details.
Have your guy reach out to my guy.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you very much to the ultimate man rocket, Henrik Lundqvist. Crazy story to hear what he went through with his heart. That is some scary shit right there. Was going to play with Washington. And I mean, it's good to hear that now he's kind of happy that he was only a New York Ranger for his entire career and that he's, at peace with how it all ended. But that's wild. Scary stuff for him and his family. And great guy. We appreciate him coming over to Yans. They are good buddies. So he came over, took some time on one of his off days between the finals. And that was great to catch up. And congrats on an incredible career. The guy's just crushing it in life. So now we're going to throw it over to Marco Sturm. Marco Sturm, we go into the trade to Boston with Wayne Primo, Brad Stewart for Joe Thornton. Always kind of looked at as one of the most lopsided trades in history. But Marco Sturm, you'll see here, great dude. Fun to talk to, a lot of energy. And I mean, he lit it up for the Bruins for a few years. So it wasn't really his fault. We kind of go into the trade and how hard it was for him and some of those guys when it's like, I didn't choose this trade. This isn't on me. I'm just playing as well as we could, as he can. Good talking with. So we're going to throw it over to him right now. Great interview. And Bruins fans, I think you should be excited. I think you should be fired up that you got this guy as coach who's been around the game for so long and knows what he's doing. So we'll see what he can do as a head coach in the NHL. So without further ado, Marco Sturm. Guys, we got to talk about RO Sparks. I've talked about RO Sparks before, and you know what this involves? Big hard erections. Yup, that's right. You heard it here. A big old hard erection. It's a 2-in-1 prescription treatment for stronger, harder erections. Always a little weird saying that, but goddamn, if you're a man, who doesn't want a big, strong, hard erection? RO Sparks dissolve under your tongue, meaning they hit your bloodstream faster than pills, so you can get ready for action quicker. Once the medication dissolves, they work in about 15 minutes on average, giving you the boost you need for thicker, longer erections. What? Yeah, I'm doing the RO Sparks ad read again. I know you want me to try them. Thanks, honey. And helping you last longer for more fun for both of you. Plus, RO Sparks stay active in your system for up to 36 hours. That means you can be ready to go round after round or even in the morning after, and no need for an awkward in-person doctor visits where you're kind of standing there like, doc. No. It's not awkward like that because RO connects you with a medical provider 100% online, and if prescribed, your treatment ships right to your door. If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with a provider at ro.co/chiclets to find out if prescription RO Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/chiclets for $15 off your first order. This episode of Spittin Chiclets is brought to you by Body Armor Flash IV. If you need a little juice in your life, a little bit of I'm dehydrated, what do I do with my life? There's one answer. That is Body Armor Flash IV. It's incredible tasting. It works to perfection. And Flash IV delivers faster, longer lasting hydration with over 2,000 milligrams of electrolytes and no artificial dyes, flavors, or sweeteners like those other drinks. None of that trash. You don't want that crap in your body. You want Body Armor Flash IV. 2,000 milligrams of electrolytes? Are you kidding me? None of the trash flavorers or sweeteners or any of that junk. It's perfection in a bottle. It helps you feel good again. It helps you get rejuvenated. It helps you not be dehydrated any longer. That's Body Armor Flash IV. So whether you're training, traveling, or just feeling the heat, work hard, drink Body Armor Flash IV, and hydrate hard with Body Armor Flash IV. Grab yours today at a local 7-Eleven or a convenience store near you. We are now pleased to be joined by the newly named 30th head coach in the history of the Boston Bruins organization, a man that 29 years ago was drafted in the first round himself by the San Jose Sharks. Marco Sturm, what's going on, buddy? Thank you so much, and congrats.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for having me. I mean, as soon as I hear you guys reached out, I'm like, I was all checked up.
Oh, yeah, you put everything on hold, right? You were going to play golf today. Hold on. No, the Chiclets boys are asking.
You might get fired, though. They hate Whit. The GM hates Whit and Biz. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually only came on to tell you to go fuck yourself, and then he's gonna log off.
Hey, that'd be viral for us. That's okay. So
He's a Boston guy, so I gotta be careful.
No. I got your back. I can't say the same for Don. But take us through kind of how this all went down. I'm guessing that. Do you kind of apply? Do they reach out to you? How does it work when you got in the mix originally for interviews with the Bruins?
Yeah, no, it all started probably like 6-7 weeks ago. You know, as soon as my season was done with the rain, you know, I got the text from Don Sweeney. Hey, just a heads up, I called the Kings for permission, and that was it. Right? We started with some phone calls first, and we got into some Zoom calls with his management, with the staff. And then it went on to the next round and next round. And then all of a sudden I was in Boston a couple of times, and here I am today, right? Got the job, and I was the last guy standing. So I'm very excited.
Was that your first time applying for a head coach job? And was that your first interview at the NHL level like that?
No, you know what? Last year I did it with San Jose, and that really helped, you know, going through the process. And even before San Jose, I reached out to a bunch of guys and coaches, and they're like, everyone will tell me is like, this will not be your best one, trust me. Right? It might be your worst one. So just give you a heads up. And I thought I did okay, but you know what? I learned so much from last year. So I try to, you know, get prepared a little bit different this year. And thankfully it worked out.
I'm wondering with a coaching interview, are you going in prepared on like almost what you do with lines, D pairings? Are you giving a maybe kind of a future 4 to 5 year runway of what you see the team could turn into? Like preparation wise for yourself, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, I mean, I always started with who I am, right?
Yep.
As a person, and then also as a coach. So a lot of guys know me, but they don't really know me as a coach. So I kind of explain that, what my vision are, you know, just as a coach. And then I go deeply into probably more the system too, the way I see the game. And then obviously go into the team. All right. I'm going to address exactly what we need, what needs to be done, what things we can change, we can do better, roster wise, on and on and on. So that's my plan. But in the meantime, during that whole thing, you know, GMs, they do their homework too, and they want to know everything.
Yeah.
Right? How I develop, how do I communicate with the players, with the young guys, older guys, special team, you name it. So it's a whole process, and that's why it takes 6 to 7 weeks sometimes.
And you know, obviously came in the NHL in the 90s and played till, you know, 2010s. And you obviously have seen the way that players have related with coaches and, you know, the way to handle players nowadays. What are some things that you're going to bring to, you know, even being an assistant and having relationships with guys? There are things that are way different from when you started, you know, talking to a coach than you're going to have to do. Yeah,
no, and I'm so lucky enough. And Don Sweeney said it the best the other day. Timing is everything, and I'm 46 years old, and you know, you mentioned when I started playing in the NHL, I had Daryl Sutter and I had Claude Julien, right? It can't get even better than that. So, but I learned so much from them by just being honest and direct, right? They were telling me every day like how it is, even if I like it or not, and I had to get the job done basically, and you guys know that too. So now the new generation is like, hey, why? Right? I always want to know why. And I was, and 46 years old, and the way I came in now, I seen both sides, right? So I seen the old school side, what I really like for me personally. But now I feel like, the younger guys, you almost got to treat them a little bit different sometimes. And you got to know as a coach, who can you poke and not, right? So that's the beauty about, the new generation of coaches as well.
Daryl Sutter, he's almost like a mythical figure in a way. We've heard some hilarious stories, chucking guys on Millionaires Row when they're not playing well. Do you remember any kind of specific instances of him giving it to you, or in a funny but also like mean way?
Yeah, when did he throw it?
I gotta be careful though, because I might or he might get in trouble. So
that's true. That's the 90s we're talking.
Good moments. There are good moments with that. But you know what? The good thing is, end of the day, he was so hard on me, but he loved me. He absolutely loved me. So as long as you work your butt off, right? You give everything you have every day, you will be fine. And he gave me that feeling, and that's why I loved him, right? And then I got traded to Boston, and Claude was up that extreme, but he was kind of like the same too. And that's why those two are my two favorite coaches.
Marco, you mentioned like at the beginning of that meeting with Boston, you kind of have to describe who you are as a person. I reached out to a few guys that you played with, and the way they described you was a true pro's pro. Like, you'd show up early, you put the work in, not complaining, you just put your head down and go. How would you describe yourself to maybe Boston fans listening to this who don't know your personality, who maybe weren't big fans of your time there, or even knew about your long career? You played just under 1,000 games and put up some great numbers as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I coach exactly the same way I play. I'm very honest. I'm a hardworking guy. That's why I show up. I show up early at the rink in the morning now as a coach, because I want to be prepared, right? And I want to set the tone every day for my guys, for my coaches. That's who I am. And that's why I'm trying to show and be direct, with my guys, and be honest and go from there. So again, I'm very structured as well. I was a forward, just like you, Biz. We like to score
No,
goals.
you weren't. No, you weren't like Biz. You had 8 years in a row with 20
I think
goals.
you might get fired if you don't take that statement back.
Yeah. But that's something that I have to, that's on my agenda here with the Bruins, that, in our DNA, and I played here, right, with the Bruins, and you guys know it's, we know how to defend. And yes, we got to tweak a few things. We know that. But I think now, I just got to give them I just got to help them a little bit more to get more on the offensive side of it, of the puck, and also be more hungry and have that offensive mindset.
How I was just going to jump in there. How do you plan on doing that? Because Pastrnak, obviously an offensive superstar. I feel like maybe that's one thing the Bruins are lacking, are those offensive threats. So with keeping the defensive identity of the Bruins with a great decor and Swayman and net, how do you plan on squeezing out maybe more offense from this team?
Yeah, I mean, again, we don't want to lose that defensive side of it. But again, a lot comes from between the years, I think, right? And we I gotta show them, right? We gotta practice a lot, and I'm gonna have to repeat and follow up. So that's the process with that new generation. So, but for me, it's gonna be day one training camp. There will be no gray area in my game. It's very clear, very simple. I think, but I'm gonna almost brainwash them, right? Day one. And they will see it. Yeah, they will see the difference. How I want to play right away. So that's why for me, it's always, the best thing for me was working with Todd McClellan. I thought he was just the perfect coach for me to learn, because every year he built that foundation right away, and then we moved up, right? Weeks after weeks and month, and progress system wise. And I think that's what I'm going to start right away again too. You can't skip middle school.
Yeah.
So you got to go.
That's what Biz did.
Reestablish our identity, our standard. I think that's going to be my first goal, and having that again, that offensive mindset. That's just part of it.
When you finished playing pretty quick, maybe a year or two, you became the head coach of the German national team, won a silver medal at the 2018 Olympics. While you were finishing up your career, or even earlier, did you know you wanted to get into coaching? And how did the German national team coach, come about? Like, how did it all go down there?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I was in Florida. I had the best life, sunny every day. I enjoyed my family, and I got into youth hockey, like junior Panthers. I was with my son on the ice all the time, man. And all of a sudden, I got the call. I wanted to do a little bit of scouting to help the German national team, and I got the call. I remember that. I flew home to Germany, and I had a visit with the president that time, and he's like, "No, we don't want you to be a scout." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "I want you to be the head coach and the GM." I'm like, "What?" So he kind of threw it at me, but I knew right away this is actually something I like, and it got me into it right away. I spent 4 great years with the national team. I prepared him for, obviously, the Olympics. I mean, ended up really good, but it was just a great first step for me as a coach. And that Olympic, that silver medal, it opened up everything, right? All of a sudden, I got calls from the NHL.
Yeah.
Blakey and Glenn Murray called me, and all of a sudden, I got a job in LA.
And I know you got Chris Kelly and Jay Leach on your staff there. Had you known them before? Like, have you guys ever played together? And how much trust are you putting in those guys to help you out and get the team where it needs to be?
Yeah, I think Kels came right after me in Boston, but I met him a few times. He's an outstanding person and a good coach. Leachy, he was actually there, but he spent most of the time in Providence when I was in Boston, so I know him too a little bit. And Bob Pacenza, he was there when I played there, so that's how old he is, right? And there's a good people, and those were the guys I wanted to have around, and now we could just going to look for one more guy, probably more for a power play position. But no, I'm really looking forward, because the one thing I learned about coaching, we got to be prepared, and we got to have a quick look, because if not, players will know, so that's something I don't want to give them any excuses.
The NHL is a copycat league, and it seems like a lot of teams kind of steal from other teams. Is there a team that you kind of see that you want your team to play? Because a lot of years everyone was trying to play like the Bruins, especially in the defensive zone. But is there a team right now that you like watching and would take some stuff from their game?
Yeah, no, it's a good question, and yes, it used to be the Bruins, and that's where we want to get back to it. I mean, me being around the LA Kings, I think it's a classy organization. We've done a really good, or they done a really good job the last 5-6 years. So of course, there's a lot of good things happening there. All right, and now if you look at today's game, you got to look at the Florida Panthers, right? Just the way they play, the way they're structured, defensively, offensively, it's pretty impressive. So, Paul Maurice did a really good job, I thought, for the Panthers. And they do. I mean, they have the players for it, but that's something. Yeah, I think every coach is kind of looking at.
You mentioned Todd McClellan is the 1-3-1, the infamous 1-3-1, as we call it, the ambient attack here on the Spittin Chiclets podcast. Do you plan on implementing that into the Bruins system? Because people have complained about it being a little bit boring, but extremely effective and really slowing teams down through the neutral zone with their attack.
Yeah, no, and you know what? Believe it or not, it really helped us that was our foundation where we at right now with the Kings, or where they at right now, because of the 1-3-1. That the players believed in it, and then that just got bored, right? And that's why they wanted more. We got better, and then was the switch. So I think it's, to answer your question, I think it always depends where we at as a team, right? And I think if you're in a total rebuild, just where like we were in with the Kings, I thought it was the right neutral zone to play. All right. I think if you're a Stanley Cup contender, that I don't think it will be probably a good fit either. So I think I go by my roster, I go by personnel, the players who I have, And then we'll see. I mean, right now I'm looking at a few more options, but this year the Kings, in Ontario, we switched to a 1-2-2-ish, a little bit different, but it worked out well too. So we'll see. I will surprise you.
And I actually looked at the Hockey DB. I don't know if it's been updated, but you guys back-to-back 40-win seasons. Did you guys make playoffs with Ontario this year?
Yeah, we did.
And
got kicked out the first round.
And what was your experience like there? I mean, I played there. It was great. Great place to live.
Yeah, it was great. And you visit us. You left $1,000 on the board. So I remember that this year.
Did he pay it?
No,
I
left.
really appreciate it. Yeah, did the starting lineup, and he left us $1,000. So thank you.
Yep. I get you. I bet the kids got drunk off that.
But it was great. This is exactly what I needed. And going through the process especially with Don Sweeney, this is what they wanted, right? They wanted, and they knew me as a player. They knew the national team. They knew I was assistant with the LA Kings. But what they all wanted is having more head coach experience. So the time, going back to the minors, going back on the bus, that came up a lot. But for me, it was a no-brainer. And those 3 years, it was just great. Being my own boss and especially being in a Kings organization in Ontario, it was just great.
You mentioned how teams play kind of based on the roster, and now the Bruins, who've been the standard, right, for 15 years in the league, like they have so much money to spend. There's areas they need to address. Do you get to be a part of that once free agency comes around or trades, or is that kind of all the GM and Don Sweeney? Because you wonder if they talk to the coaches about who they might sign, or is that kind of out of your element right now?
I mean, the GM always makes the last call, but we had those conversations.
Okay,
I had it with Don Sweeney the last little while here. He just wants to know what I think and what the need is. And he's just gonna go out and try to see what's out there, with today's salary cap and numbers and this and that. So it's getting a little bit more complicated. The good thing is in Boston, you're not allowed to lose, right? And they will spend money. So that's the good thing here. I think he's going to try the best he can, again, to add few players here on July 1st. And what I do like about our team right now, we still have a good support. The Bergeron, the Chara, these guys did a good job passing that support, So now it's the McAvoy and these guys, the Lindholms and on the Pasternak, like these guys, I can already hear when I talk to them. They already have that Bruins DNA in them. So that's good. So again, we just have to add a few pieces.
And you guys are one of the only teams without a captain. And, I'm not going to ask you who you want to be captain or whatever, but how excited are you just to be a part of that, decision making and getting to know guys and getting to know their leadership skills and just to see how guys, like you said, are around the room and how they are with their teammates.
We would appreciate some breaking news if you do want to mention who's going to be captain.
Sorry, I don't have one yet, but no, we had, we had not too many small conversations about it. I think we're gonna, as of right now, we're just gonna take our time. They have their thoughts, but like you said, it's like I want to know them first too. And I'm not gonna jump in and tell a guy he's gonna be the new captain of this franchise. This is the Boston Bruins, and this is not a different team in the league. It's a big deal, right? So I think it's going to be really important just to take our time here, and maybe we don't have a captain at the start of the season. I don't know, right? I do like to have one, but if not, it's not a problem either.
I saw an incredible picture of your family. I think your daughter, son, your wife on the ice at the game at Fenway Park, where you got the OT winner in that Winter Classic. And then all the family together. Your son looks like he's grown about 5 feet since then. I read he's playing at Bowdoin, but you guys were in Boston as a family, DC, Vancouver, LA, and then you go to Ontario, Germany when you're coaching. How excited is the family to be back in Boston, in a place you guys got to spend so many years before?
Yeah, they're so excited. I can't even tell you, because
that helps you, right?
Yesterday in the press conference, my family's been bugging me for years now to get hey dad, can we get a place in Boston? Because
No
they all
way.
wanna, right? And here we are, right? The wish came through. And my son now, he's up in Bowdoin. My daughter committed to UMass Boston like 3 months ago.
No
right?
way.
And now we're all together. He can't write a better script. So
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. Everything happened for a reason. I always believe in that, and that's exactly what.
Marco, did you ever see the movie Dumb and Dumber?
Oh yeah.
Is it hard not calling Cam Neely Seabass, or do you call him Seabass?
That's how he got hired.
He oh yeah, he looks like Seabass, especially when you lose. I can't. But I was telling the other day, actually him, I reminded him, remembering in Montreal when we played the Canadiens, it's a big rival. We lost the game, and after the game, we're in the bus on the way out from the rink, and those fans, Canadian fans, they didn't move at all. Right? They didn't move. They're like, whatever. Cam got out. He was so pissed, and I didn't know what he said, but all of a sudden, in like seconds, the fans like, woo.
Come on.
So that's Cam. That's Seabass, right? I don't know. He's great. He's been great. I know him for a long time. He just wants to win. He's a winner, right? And it hurt for the whole franchise, but especially for him. Last season, it really hurt.
He's like, do you see what Chara just did to Pacioretty there? That'll look like a trip to the sauna if you don't get out of the way of our bus.
Yeah, a trip to the med spa.
Biz mentioned your career and incredible, like 8 years in a row, over 20 goals, just under 1,000 games. I kind of would like to go into that a little bit. Maybe like growing up in Germany, I think one of the biggest names or the earliest best players from Germany to ever play in the NHL was yourself. Like, who did you have to look up to growing up? Was it guys in the DEL? Like, what were your dreams like? Was it more DEL or playing in the NHL? Like, I always wonder for the Europeans that are a little older how it was in youth hockey and junior.
Yeah, no, it started with the DEL.
Yeah.
So you want to be, you want to be in the German league. But when I think when I hit when I was 13, 14 years old, I could already tell I was better than anyone else, right?
Yeah.
And with going through the national team, the under 16, 7, and 18, going through that and playing those world championships, those big tournaments. So then I knew, now I got a different goal and different dream. It's going to be the NHL. And sure enough, I was lucky enough. The San Jose Sharks drafted me. I remember, Dean Lombardi, he visited me a few times, before they drafted me in Germany. So I knew with, especially with 14, 15, that I will end up in the States.
And now looking at German hockey and Draisaitl, Seider, Stützle, like, could you ever have imagined like the skill and the talent? And I'm sure there's some 14 and 15-year-olds now there that'll be over here in 4 or 5 years that'll dominate. But what has been the biggest thing to change the skill level of these German players coming over? Like, they've just turned into some real elite talent in the league.
Yeah, we have some, you name it. We have some really good talent. I think that the one thing we keep working on is we just need more of them, right?
Yep.
The only, there's a Draisaitl, and then there's a little stretch, 5 to 10 years, and then there's a Seider, and then it's another stretch. So we want to shrink that process a little bit and develop more and more German guys, but it's not easy. It's a country. It's all about soccer.
Yeah.
Right? Germany, it's not the number one sport. It's sometimes it's a money issue too. So it's not easy. I think they're trying for years. They're trying the best they can. I think you could see it already, even with the national team. With those kind of players, you could see it. Yeah, you see the progress, I would say, over the years, but there is still a lot of work to do, but it's not easy.
So you get to San Jose, Daryl Sutter's your coach, and then you guys have a pretty wily veteran group, like Owen Nolan. I heard he's as old school as they come. Al Iafrate. What was it like?
Smoking cigarettes.
Yeah,
on the
hacking
ice.
darts with his skullet and warm up.
He actually did. That's a true story.
Yeah.
Come on, he was not on the bench or nothing, no?
Not on a bench, but between periods, there's that hallway. I don't know if you remember the start at the tank, right? There's the locker room and there's that hallway. It goes all the way around. He was like this.
Ripping one-timers.
Came back in.
Unbelievable with that huge slap shot. Like, how big of a culture shock was that maybe your first year? Like, obviously you go from Germany to being in California, but also like with an intense coach like that. And then some of these like men, like old school men that played the game a different way.
Yeah, I came in. I think one point, I think it was even Nolan. He asked me, "Hey, can you speak English?" Of course I did, but I had so much respect, and I was a young kid. I was 18, 19 years old. I didn't want to say anything wrong either. I was just watching these guys, and but it was the best though. Looking back, and Daryl was great because back then we all had roommates. So he always put all the guys with me. So I had Tony Granato. He was my first roommate, right? I had Ron Sutter. I had Murray Craven, so he always put guys in my room, like all the guys, so I can learn from. And it was the best. I mean, we had so many great people in our locker room, and they took me everywhere. Me and Pat and Mullo, we were their toys, right? We were their stars, and they took us everywhere, and it was outstanding. We learned so much. We had a lot of fun, yeah, I couldn't ask for a better team.
Wait, sorry, Biz. I never knew. So Daryl coached his brother, Ron?
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit. Because I just looked, he's only 5 years older than him. Was he just giving it to his brother too?
Yeah, what was that like?
Yeah, the good thing is Ron is he's a quiet guy.
Okay.
Right? So that's good. Maybe that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
What I remember, I think he left him alone a little bit. I don't know what happened. Maybe he called him later.
He's like, Ron's got dirt on me from growing up. I can't.
Oh yeah, you want to know where the bodies are buried, boys? Yeah, chirp me about my fucking forecheck one more time, you little bitch.
But Ron, Ron was great. Being my roommate, he told me some stories.
Oh, that's probably why he left you alone too.
Back in the house, like how they, were fighting it out. And
that's got to be the only time a brother's coached a brother.
Yeah, it's insane.
In the NHL.
But I heard that they would all scrap at the farm. Like I heard it was just an absolute gong show out there.
Yeah. And it was.
If you're from Viking, Alberta, you're fighting your brothers at the farm.
You're fighting your mom at breakfast.
just going toe to toe. So of those guys you mentioned in your first couple of years, like who was the most interesting roommate? Like you got to have some wild story, maybe coming in a little too late.
No, I mean, I never had him, but I heard a lot of stories because Patty Marlowe had him for a while. It was Marty McSorley. Right? Marty was just
animal.
Just even by looking at him, he's just massive. No, he was good. He just had a different routine, I guess. But my guys are all really good. I mean, Tony Granato is. I don't know. You probably met him too. He's one of the best human beings out there, and but he was just great. But there is some wild ones, just like Marty, for sure.
You know what? I got a question about a guy in San Jose who turned into like a sex symbol. Was Mike Ricci, right? Do you remember him?
Oh yeah, best looking guy every year.
Oh, you know him? Yeah, so he
played with him.
I bang him.
He's the
he
best
must have
guy
been
ever.
fun to play with. That he had like he
Absolute man missile.
No,
but he
will tell you
No.
too. He will tell you.
I think he won
He tells you
best
about
looking.
a 6-goal game every time he sees
He
or whatever.
scored 6 goals in a game.
Right, Marco? It was like 5 or 6 goals. Every time you'd come into the lobby, he'd be like, I ever tell you about the time I scored 6 goals? You're like, dude, yesterday. Yeah.
That's him. And this guy, listen, he couldn't even skate, first of all, right?
No.
He couldn't shoot the puck. But he had a big ass and he had a good stick and he know how to tip pucks. So I give him a lot of credit, but this guy is funny. I mean, this guy, is. I think his time was always after warm up, and from after warm up till the game, that was his moment. That's where he had all his jokes but he was loosening the guys up. I think that was great. But he will tell you he was sexiest athlete in Colorado one day. He got voted. Are you gonna hear that for?
That you hear about that more than his cup.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't see the press conference, but my understanding is you apologized right away for the trade for Joe Thornton and said I did. That you had nothing to do with it. So you got to walk us through this, getting the call and finding out you're moving from San Jose and ultimately for the MVP of the league.
Yeah. No, it was actually no, it's a funny story, but we got to Dallas. We played Dallas in Dallas. We did the warm up, everything for the game, right? So we were warm up, we were outside, we went back in the room, and all of a sudden, one of our assistants, I can't remember, came in. He's like, Sturm, Primo, Stewart, just come to the coach's room. So I'm like, okay. So we went in the room, and I didn't know. Preem said, "Oh shit," he said it right away.
He knew.
And but that was my first trade. So I went in there, and here's Dougie Wilson already waiting with the coaches, and he's like, "Hey, listen, I know it's a bad timing, but I just made a trade with Boston, thanks for everything, kind of, and you know what? We got in the room, we got undressed, went to the hotel, right? The guys had to play short.
Yeah.
We had a flight the next day, 6 a.m. We went to Boston and played that night, right? We had nothing. There was a snowstorm going on, right? We had no clothes. We had nothing. We had no jacket. I didn't go home. I didn't see my wife was pregnant that time. I didn't see her for like another month. It was just wild. But yeah, that was the big trade. And, going into Boston, it was not easy. And that's why I said it's not my fault. Like the guy, everyone was pissed. And how can you trade a guy like Joe, and especially for those three clowns, probably, that's what they thought.
I didn't do this.
Did you feel like instant pressure, like even like from the media side and fans because of that anger with moving on from them? And like, did it affect your play at all? I mean, all the other intangibles for like moving, not being around your wife who's pregnant, new scenery, that would have enough impact in itself. But all of a sudden you're maybe dealing with that backlash from the media where you're like, I don't make the fucking trades around here.
No, I mean, we felt it for sure. The good thing was, the good thing, we were so bad, right? Now then everything turned into, they just hated the GM, right? So it was more management, ownership, whatever. So they were all on them. So that was the fans' focus a little bit. For me personally, that game right away, game one, they put me with Bergeron and Brad Boyce, if you remember him.
Yeah.
We were one of the hottest lines in the league for that season. I scored right away. I had assists. I had the best time ever, right? And I had one of my best seasons ever. So for me personally, it was just it was a great trade. I knew they wanted to build a team around Bergeron. He was only 20 years old that time, but I think it all worked out, both sides.
Speaking of Bergeron, obviously the legend that he is, you got to play with him. Is he a guy that's around the team and like you're gonna, kind of bounce things off? I don't know what his role is there, but you see him around, like, just such a smart hockey player. Like obviously a guy that you'd love to have around.
I think he's trying to convince him to come back and play.
Oh,
yeah, I saw him yesterday. I thought he's one of the guys. He came in with 7% body fat. That's almost impossible, right? And look at him yesterday. He's like, it never changed. Like he still has 7%. He's such a good shape, right? But yeah, no, he's staying away a little bit. He has 4 kids right now. His wife went back to school, so he's really busy with his kids. I hope he's going to be more around a little bit. I love this guy. I love to pick his brain, but he's just not there yet.
Yeah, so your last year on the Bruins, was that the year you guys were up 3-0 against Philly?
Do you really have to remember me?
Oh God!
Oh my God! Well, I'm looking. I'm like, oh Jesus, that was then you were in LA. Right. I won't even make you talk about that. I will not even make you talk about
game
that.
Game 1, I got hurt. I blew my ACL. That was a bad one. But we were up 3-0, and even game 4, I think we went to OT or something. And
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. That was a tough one.
It must have been even worse watching from the press box. Like,
He was playing. Did you play?
No,
It
he got
says you
hurt. He
played.
said he got hurt game 1.
Game 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
I had my guy. It wasn't my fault.
I had that.
Point the finger. What do you got, Woody?
No, I'm just I guess I don't really have much else. I'm very happy for you. Congratulations
No,
with
thank you.
everything.
Thank
I mean, it's a cool story, right? Like you get
Yeah.
traded there, which is kind of a disaster at the beginning because it was Joe Thornton, and you come back. And I guess the main thing for me is like your first head coaching job in the NHL is an Original Six franchise. So that's not very common at all. So
Amazing.
you just must be more excited than anything to get going, get camp going.
Absolutely. I mean, you said it. I mean, being back, I still can't believe it, honestly. And being back here in Boston, Original Six, I said the timing. I mean, selfishly, the good thing was they didn't play good last year, because otherwise I never thought of having a chance here to be the head coach, but here I am now.
I had a couple more. It's cool because like towards the end of your career, you played in Los Angeles and Washington, and back-to-back years. Like you played with Anze Kopitar, not a captain when they won the Stanley Cup, but obviously a leader. What was it like seeing him? And then Alexander Ovechkin when you were in Washington as these young superstars budding in the league. Like that must have been so cool as a veteran to see those guys, and also probably have an impact from a leadership standpoint on their careers.
Yeah, no, and it sucked that time because I was moving around a lot. It wasn't fun, but now looking back, you know what? It helped me a lot now, because to go into those different locker rooms and different superstars, I could tell you right away like who's close to winning cups and not. And again, coming from Boston, I thought LA was very similar. With the Kopitar, the Doughty, the Quick, and these guys, it was very similar locker room, very focused, hardworking, then he got into Wash, a little bit different, right? Ovi is a different leader, way more outgoing, having way more fun than anyone else. He was just different, right? And then going into Vancouver too, it was a bad timing, I think, because they lost Game 7 that summer against the Bruins. So that was just a bad timing by me. And then going back to Florida again, that was the first year we made the playoffs. So again, it was great to see, right? To hang out and also to see those kind of different characters and different kind of players, in different cities.
I noticed in your last year, it was a quick, 5 games in Germany? Was that more of like you wanted a proper send-off back home and where it all began and basically say goodbye to hockey in your own special way?
Yeah, that was the lockout year, right? So that was a lockout year. So I was working my butt off all year, tried to get a job back with the Panthers. Didn't work out. NHL started, and then I think it was February or something. I'm like, you know what? I want to play. I worked so hard to come back. Let's play in Germany. Uwe Krupp called me. He was a coach in Cologne. So he called me. So I played 5 games, and then we made it to the final. Unfortunately, we lost to Berlin, but what a great, that was just a great way to finish. Not the way I wanted. I wanted to finish in the States in the NHL, but playing back home, that was pretty cool.
Well, you're back there now, buddy.
I just want to know what guy you're most looking forward to working with, just to kind of even get to know them. Obviously, I'm sure you know every guy's game, but just getting to know their personality off the ice and how they operate every day.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the older guys, just by talking to them, they got me all fired up too, all excited. If you have a guy like Pasta, I think it's pretty special to work with a guy like that. We do have a bunch of Europeans too. So I hope I can help them a little bit more than others. But, what I learned also in Ontario is working with young kids. So I really have a thing on those young kids now, because I want them to be better. I want them to have success. All right. And I spent a lot of time in the past, and I will try to do it again. So it's hard to name a name, but, there is still a lot of good players in this room. I'm glad to work with.
And if we can give you any little advice to do what Carberry did this year. Have cameras on you in the locker room after every game, and you'll win the Jack Adams, because it just, people fell in love with him. And, like we've seen your personality here today. You've been amazing. And I think everybody's going to love you in Boston.
If you want to,
I appreciate it.
if you want to start a reality show, we'll take care of that.
Yeah.
We'll get the whole production team.
It'd be big.
I got the experience yesterday. They call it behind the beast, wherever. The guy was following me right from my, it was all they end up in my shower here. He was like ready to
Like
go.
business
here.
commercial.
I'm like, oh, is that going to be every day like that? He's like, yeah, welcome to Boston.
Okay.
I said, okay.
Actually, my last one about you got the chance to coach Quentin Byfield. Is this, like, I'm thinking like 100-point player here, watching him this year. Like, you kind of saw this from the start, right? Can we expect to see a superstar in this guy?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Just the way he had a slow start, I would say, but he just, you know what? He was 19 years old. He just needed a little bit more time than other guys.
Yeah.
But now you can see he's still not there yet. But he can see already how good he is. And I think he's just going to get better and better. I think lineup or line-wise, like he's going to move up. He's going to play even with better players. He was still playing a lot of times in the third line. All right. Can you imagine to play, he plays every day with a guy like Kempe. And I think he's just going to get better.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
I just had one last one. It's not hockey related. I'll be spending a little bit of time in Boston after the Stanley Cup Finals is over. What are your favorite staples about Boston? Like when you were there, and what are you excited to get back to? Whether it's restaurants, like where you hang out, like what were your favorite things about Boston that you look forward to getting back into?
Yeah, suburbs or city for your living next year?
Yeah, it's when I got here, everyone moved from the outside, from the sub to downtown. I think my kids and we all grew up here. They grew up here downtown, and we had the best time ever. So I'm really looking forward to be back in the city. Right? We love city life. We love restaurants. We love to go out and eat well and have a good time. So I think that's something we really looking forward to.
Favorite restaurant?
If you win, we gotta win though first.
Gotta win. Favorite restaurant in Boston?
I mean, Abe and Louis is always a good one. It's always solid. You know what you get,
Right?
right? But I like Prima in Charlestown. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, new spot, incredible spot.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, Marco Sturm, new head coach, 30th coach of the Boston Bruins. Congrats once again, and we appreciate you spending some time with us.
Big time.
Hey, thanks, guys. You're doing great.
Thank you. All right. See you, Marco.
And can I say something?
Oh, here we go.
Next time I gotta say you guys are awesome. Iman, TNT, you guys are great. But I was on the plane the other day, and when Gary Bettman came in, I thought that was hilarious.
Biz put him on the hot seat, Marco.
What are your thoughts?
Man versus a kid, like with Biz. It was pretty.
Marco, come on, man. You can't leave me.
Hey, you're the coach of a team that needs that rule to change.
Yeah, what do you think about it?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a good question. I'm not going to comment on it. But I can. Come on.
Well, Seabass is behind him right now.
Murdered.
But, in the plane, they were like, what is this guy laughing at? I was just laughing at Gary.
You were laughing because I teed him up for that? I threw him a softball.
Yeah,
he got the dunk
and he
on me.
pounded it out of the park.
I'll be sending him a fucking invoice this offseason for letting him dunk on me on national television. That comes at a cost, Gary.
Yeah. All right, Marco, have a great one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Florida. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much to Marco Sturm. Great interview. Interesting to see like the German talent. And, we brought up Seider and Stützle and Draisaitl and kind of just discussing more like how do we produce more of those world-class, like high-level elite players. We'll see what happens. But you got three absolute young studs in the league. I don't know how young Leon is anymore, but I mean, he's top 3 player in the world. So thank you to Marco Sturm. I've been solo here. Fishy, you're backstage. Did you have anything? What have you been up to?
Yeah, so I've been in Minnesota this whole summer, and I want to give a quick shout out to the Maple Grove Crimson, the U14 lacrosse team, close to me, of which I am a coach, going undefeated this season. I am an assistant coach.
Okay.
I do skills with the team, so I go to all the games, and we coach twice a week.
And for people who don't know, Fish, was a very good lacrosse player. I never played lacrosse, Fish. The town I grew up in, shout out Situate, Massachusetts. So shout out Henry Lockwood, Hank. There was no lacrosse in Situate. And so it was, I love baseball then, but there wasn't even an option. I don't know how old I was. I had already moved out when lacrosse became a thing. Now I think it's pretty popular, but great game. I kind of wish I'd played because it's probably better if you're super into hockey and that's what you want to do, try to play college hockey or junior, you're probably better off playing lacrosse at 11, 12, 13 than you would be baseball, just because stick skills, running, cardio, more similar to hockey and like how you're playing and training. It's physical more than baseball, but you were good. I didn't know you were that good, and then I found out you were good. I was pretty impressed. So it makes sense you're doing the skill work stuff.
Yeah, so I didn't want to be the head coach, but the skill stuff I can definitely do. But I want to give a shout out to the team because they won their state championship this last weekend. We went undefeated season, state champions. Oh, yeah. And I also have one other thing. I want to call an audible, maybe. I don't know the right word here.
I thought you were calling a fatwa on someone.
No. So with the Kirk Minahan game, this basketball, it'll already be out by now. But I want to call, if the New York team loses, I want it to be known. I did text Taint de Beers that I would be willing to fly in to go to this game. My claim to fame in basketball is that I went to a Jim Boeheim Syracuse basketball camp when I was 12 years old, and he said that I played like Pistol Pete Maravich. So I would just want to call that out there that I was willing to go and play in this game. And Dana
but
Beers
you don't work in the New York office, Fish.
But I do. I mean, I was in the New York office. I just moved, but I could totally play for the New York office. I started there.
So you have game. Pistol Pete Maravich, for people who don't know, is he one of the most skilled players ever? I believe you could go to the YouTube and check out his dribbling. Like, that's you?
I was all passing, no points, but I can dish the rock.
Okay.
That's my claim to fame. So if the New York team loses, I just want that known. I want that out there.
They were missing Fishy.
They were missing me. Exactly.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Guys, lastly, and if you notice I have a different shirt on, if you're watching on YouTube, it's because I had to fix what I said earlier. I was incorrect, but we got some very special news about Chiclets Cup. Registration begins Wednesday, July 30th at 12 p.m. Eastern. That's noon Eastern. Open registration for the Chiclets Cup. The location this year, very special. Harpoon Brewery, 306 Northern Ave, Boston, Massachusetts. It's going to be a scene. It's going to be a movie, as our guy Memes likes to say. Harpoon Brewery is Boston's original craft brewery. They've been making beer there since 1987. Wouldn't you know? That doesn't make sense. Can you believe it? Also, this tournament it's kind of like the immovable force meets the, what is the saying, Fishy? That's a wittism. That's a tough one. I couldn't even get through it. Basically, it's what is it?
The unstoppable force meets the immovable object.
Okay, well, I actually don't even think I should have said that because one of those forces or objects is business team. They stink. They've never won a thing. They've never won their own tournament. So Keith Yandel came in and put together his own team. The Boston Stranglers versus the Big Deal Selects. Basically like winner take all. I don't even care if neither one of them win it. It's when they play each other. Heads will roll. I can't wait for it. It's going to be drama-filled in a beautiful area in Boston, the Harpoon Brewery. It's going to be an incredible weekend. The best time to be in Boston is late September, even early October. Unreal time of year around here. So noon Eastern on Wednesday, open registration at the Harpoon Brewery. It's going to be a movie, and we got the Stranglers versus the Big Deal Selects. It's going to be incredible. So thank you very much to everyone who tuned in and listened to my nonsense. I can't wait to get back with the guys. I don't know who's going to be here next week. I know I will. Getting ready for the final. Also, shout out Matt Barzell. 2 hole-in-ones in 6 days last week. I just saw that on Instagram. That's like, he'd never had one, and he got one, and then he got one 6 days later, and they were both at Deepdale, which is one of the best golf courses in the world. Legit, like incredible. And this guy gets 2 aces in 6 days. And he's good looking, he's fast. Some guys just got it all. He's probably got a hog. A little weird. And what else was there? Bunch of weddings, too. Shout out Nick Suzuki, his wife. I saw Patrick Line getting after it at that wedding. And then Matthew Tkachuk. Congrats to Matthew Tkachuk. married. The guys were carrying around Big Walt. They were carrying around Walt Kachuk, Keith Kachuk, the legend himself. Brady had his shirt off. Yans was at that wedding. We'll maybe catch up with him on that. So that's about it. Open registration Wednesday. Chiclets Cup, Harpoon Brewery, Stranglers versus Big Deal Selects. Let's go Stranglers.